Okay, I just started.
Hmm.
Hello, Pacific League fans. Welcome back to another one of our Midnight Matinees. My name is Michael Bailey, and joining me today is one Jimbo Bernicki. Jim, how's it going?
Fantastic. I'm doing my best to stay awake for our midnight matinee, but I'm very excited for our matchup today between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Oryx Buffaloes.
Not only do we have the ever so exciting Jimbo Bernicki here, we have Matt Seibert with us today. How's it going, Matt?
I'm doing pretty well. Excited we got to get a slightly earlier start so you don't have to stay up nearly as late as we expected.
Yeah, we do apologize to anybody that was expecting the Marines versus the Hawks today. That would have been a exciting rematch from opening weekend. However, rain has dictated that we cannot have that today, so we've had to shift gears and move to Rakuten versus Oryx at Rakuten Mobile Park in Miyagi. So Rakuten on stream a bit ahead of schedule, but we also have a nice early start time as opposed to the 1 a.m. start time that we had in mind. So hopefully this game will not go to 5 in the morning like all the other ones seem to do, but with Toshiki Abe up in the lineup for Rakuten and performing as well as he is, who knows, we could go as long as he dictates the game goes.
Yeah, as some of you may know, longtime fans, Toshiki Abe has a tendency to bat for a long time whenever we cover him, but I'm super excited today. We're going to get to see first overall pick, Rui Muneta, up at the bat hopefully soon, and the shortstop phenom has been doing pretty well so far to start his rookie season. It's going to be really cool to get to see him play here.
Yeah, very excited about that. And in the chat, we do have one Gabe Lerman just wondering why he's been locked out of the booth. Sorry about that, Gabe. As the first pitch to Yumamune goes right down the middle for strike one. If we could get the game audio back on, I don't seem to think we have that. I think we're having a technical difficulty right there as right over to second base goes to first base. And 1 second, I'm having a technical difficulty on my end. My audio is just completely cut out.
Having some growing pains here, but
It wouldn't be us without technological issues.
exactly. I actually caught a bit of a Eagles game the other day, and I was really impressed with how loud the fans are. So I would love to get some of the audio going. And there's some weird, seems to be some weird kind of a foggy filter going on here. Maybe it's just a very humid day out in Sendai.
I think that's probably has more to do with it. I mean, there was another game in the other league that was canceled on account of rain, and I wouldn't be amazed if that weather system is kind of affecting a larger area. Ah, yes, Ryo Ota, kind of breaking out this year.
I mean, kind of breaking out every breaking out every. How do you do that? But Oda is a great player who's been developing coming along, and it'll be good to see how we're going here with it sitting at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the next pitch is a fastball, which Oda fouls off to the side for strike number 2.
If we're really lucky, we can get the audio from the stadium, but not necessarily the audio from the commentary, because that would make our job a little harder to do.
Well, that's what we were here for. It'd be weird to mix those two up. As the 1-2 pitch coming, fastball just
Ooh.
outside, barely missing for ball number 2. And yes, as Gabe calls him, oh, okay, that's way more outside than I thought it was from that angle. And we are coming here for the 2-2 pitch. As Koja from the stretch, and Yoda fouls off yet another pitch, staying alive here. As Gabe calls him the Phenom. It's been, I think Gabe once mentioned that he's one of the best players he's had in his out of the park baseball sim with his Oryx Buffaloes.
Sounds about right.
And another 2-2 pitch along the way. Oda with a defensive swing here as he chops yet another ball foul. Doing his best Toshiki Abe impression here, keeping this back
I was
going on
about
as
to
long as he
say,
can.
we haven't even seen Abe come to the plate yet. Also, one quick correction for what I heard about the starting lineup. Actually, Muneyama is getting this game to kind of be like get off his legs a little bit, and the shortstop from last year, Itsuki Murabayashi, is standing in at short for right now. Hopefully, he'll get a pinch hit appearance later in the game, though, for Mr. Muneyama.
As we had I think, what are we at now? 6th pitch of this at bat to end up in the dirt. So full count here for Ryota, trying to earn his way on base.
I think that was the
7th
seventh.
pitch. No, you're correct. Full count pitch, payoff pitch coming along the way here, and that is a fastball just outside, and Ota earns himself a walk. Very good at bat there, putting the starter to work right away, very early on and getting that pitch count up.
Definitely a goal of when you're early in the game or high in the lineup, you want to try and make the pitcher show all of his offerings so that your team has a chance to kind of evaluate it, right? So that's definitely something that Oryx lineup has got to be happy about.
For sure, and a little bit of info here on Totsuki Koja. The 23-year-old has actually made a couple appearances with the Japanese national team and was pretty good last season. So let's see how he fares here today as
Ryoma Nishikawa steps in.
There we go. Thank you. And the first pitch is a curveball just bending inside for strike number one. That was a nasty pitch.
It's always fun to see the diagram on the lower left corner with the pitch types and all of that stuff. It's great to follow, especially if you're good at reading the katakana there.
Yeah, I just have to guess what those colors mean. As whoa, what an ugly swing by Koji there.
I think that's what they call in MLB a sword. It just looks awful.
Oh my goodness.
That was special.
Preposterous swing.
And it was dead red tlike too. Like yeah, he should have swung at that pitch, but the swing looked not great.
0-2 delivery by Koja coming here, and it's a fastball high and outside for ball number one. As we're still working on getting the stadium audio, we apologize to everyone. Thank you all for those of you who showed up to our totally kind of unplanned game here, very last minute.
Our unplanned early hour ahead kind of thing.
1-2 coming along the way, and
he almost got another swing right there.
I don't know how that wasn't a swing, but he managed to survive it, and we're sitting at 2-2.
Hey, if he didn't break the plane, right? He didn't break the plane. He kept his hands back.
About as close as you can get.
Yeah, no, it was pretty stellar. You talk about defensive swings. Coach is causing a lot of them right now.
Yep, and I think Ryoma Nishikawa, I should say, was a big free agent signing by the Buffaloes last year, as he has a big defensive swing there, but manages to stay alive. Nishikawa coming over from the Carp 2 seasons ago. I think he led the league in batting recently over in the other league. Maybe not quite, but sorry, I was just quickly rummaging through his stat sheet. Still a very good player. Is the 2-2 deliveries coming on the way. And another defensive swing, but he is staying alive. Going from taking those very ugly, dirty hacks to getting some nice little kind of cricket defensive swings to keep his at-bat alive here.
There's a reason he might have won a batting title previously. He's got good plate coverage. I mean, you saw how hard he had to fling his bat head out to get that ball, but he managed to foul it off and stay alive. And you look at the pitches, they're kind of all over the map here for Koja right now.
As Koja's already up to 16 pitches so far with only one out here at the top of the first as the pitch is on the way, and yet another defensive swing. Oh, we are in for a long night, aren't we?
Apparently so, between Toshiki Abe and everybody doing their best impressions of him.
As I'm looking over here in the chat, we got PRG Hedgehog. Very good to see one of our most consistent listeners, as well as Valpix and Nick Springthorpe. Awesome to see everyone piling in here. Again, thank you all for joining us so early. Was not planned, but it's great to see you all.
Air quotes. Steps off the mound to check back the runner to first.
And yeah, I think I saw a shot of the crowd earlier, and everyone's wearing raincoats. So there's definitely a lot of moisture in the air today. Should be a bit of a dead ball game, I think, in terms of the ball not carrying very far. The 2-2 pitch is coming here from Koja. And another defensive swing, yet he pops that one going out to
right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And the fielder misses it. Abe doing his best to extend the game as Ota makes his way over to third base.
From a defensive swing to a double down the line. That's pretty impressive right there.
Yep, absolutely. As Mike saying he's saving the game with his defense here. So private show we've got going on backstage.
something about the nightmare, man. I mean, there are very few hitters. Well, okay, let's say it this way: there are very few defenders that probably don't make that catch. She was really close, right?
That was a pretty. I mean, that wasn't an easy catch. To be fair to him, that
No, he had a
will
long
probably
way to
go down
run.
as an error. But
Yeah, I
oh, and
haven't seen.
actually, Nishikawa made his way all the way over to second, as I believe that is Kotaro Kiyomiya. No, not
No,
Kotaro Kiyomiya.
Kiyomiya
What?
is.
No, that's absolutely not who that is. That's Yutaro Sugimoto. I
Yutaro
had the right
Sugimoto.
sounds in mind. Wow! I could not have been more incorrect.
It's like about to say, when did we get to the fighters game?
Just all of a sudden, there's a totally different guy. So yeah, Yotaro Sugimoto here had a great season a couple seasons ago, but was injured last year. Looking to get back on track this year, but that's for a lot of the Buffaloes, as they went from being three-time defending Pacific League champs to missing the playoffs last year. But so far, they are first in the league and playing up to their standard.
Yeah, definitely getting back to the top of the table. It was one of those things that you kind of expect a little bit of regression. Like Oryx's offense was so bad last year that to regress to the mean, they just had to be better. And with this pitching staff, that's a recipe for winning some games.
And yeah, as Kevin Von Magnum points out, the Eagles are wearing special uniforms this year. As Gabe points out, it's their Sunday special. It's something that they're going to wear year round, and I love these uniforms. These are nice, snazzy threads.
Speaking of the fighters, they're already in action too.
Oh, that rain is actually coming down. I thought it was just misty, but it's getting pretty heavy. I hope this game isn't canceled. That would
If they called it a no game, then that might be a slightly earlier finish time. But if
just
we
a
have
little
a
bit.
long rain delay, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah. 2-1 pitch coming here as Shimoto just holds back on that ball 3. Koja finding himself in a bit of trouble here. Already 22 pitches in, top of the first with only one away. As league, I think the leader in both batting average and home runs so far this season early on, Yuma Tongu, is on deck. As Koja gets ready for the 3-1 delivery here. And again, inside for another walk. That's, again, not the start you're looking for from your starter, to say the least. Bases loaded here with only one away in the top of the first.
Well, and especially after he had a complete game shutout, and, was it a complete game shutout? It was a very low run environment the last time Koja hit the mound. This is definitely not the same game.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rough go for Rocketon pitchers so far this season. They've been giving up a lot of runs to a lot of different teams. I think even the Lions gave them a beating the other day, and the Lions' offense is work in progress.
The Lions' offense is a little better than it was last year, but that's a
true.
low bar.
It couldn't be much worse.
It's a low bar.
Zivatongi comes up here with the bases loaded in the top of the first, and he takes a fastball pretty much right down the middle for strike number 1.
I'm just thinking of the scene in the movie and where a character's like, it could be worse. It could be raining, but it literally is already. So,
and Yuma Tongu, I believe 2 seasons ago, led the league in batting average, and after a bit of an injury-plagued season last year, not performing up to a standard, definitely looking to get back, and he is starting the season super strong. As the 0-1 delivery is coming up here, and he takes a big hack at it, only to foul it off, getting him to 0-2. I guess, as Dan Highway points out, worst day of your life so far. Always a good way to look at it.
Quick correction: we just razzed on the Lions' offense, but rookie Seiya Watanabe actually leads the league in batting average right now with a 4.29 going into today's.
Oh my goodness, that's true. Yeah, no, Watanabe's been crazy to start. I mean, he's that spark plug the Lions have been missing. And 0-2 delivery on the way here for Koja, looking to maybe get his way out of a jam with a double play ball, as it's a fastball high for ball number 1.
Mike is checking back in with us in the backstage area. Says it's 93% humidity. You can
It
see the sweat
certainly
coming
looks
off.
like it. I would go with 100. It looks like they're playing in soup out
Now,
there.
now, hang on. That's the precipitation number, which he cited as 50. Which I'm just like, it's raining.
As Koja misses with the breaking ball low and inside for ball number 2. Could be an early day here for Koja if he doesn't get his stuff together soon. And yeah, as Valpix points out, 26 pitches through the first inning is not what you're looking for.
Koja does have one win on the season thus far. That was his complete game shutout. I'm not sure how he did in his other start, but he didn't go more than 5 innings because he's only had 14 pitched on the season.
As a big swing and a miss by Tongu. Actually, oh, no, not a miss. It was just fouled off there.
But apparently it wasn't held on to by Hikaru Ota.
I thought for a second we were going to see a big scramble for runners heading home, but not quite. Tongu looking to stay alive here with 2-2 count. Goja takes a little step off the mound just to dry his hand there with the oh, what's that? Resin.
I think they refer to it as Rosin.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. Okay.
Cardinals.
Now that's a name.
2-2 delivery on the way. Oh, another ball just outside. Koja cannot find the zone, and when he does, they're just fouling it off. He is having a super rough first inning here. Josh Rosen. It would be really weird if it was resin, wouldn't it? Just covering his hand in sticky stuff.
Well, I mean,
Garrett Cole special.
Well, the grip aids are allowed for NPB in ways that they aren't with MLB. Obviously, Hiromi Ito is famous for almost abusing that bag.
Full count pitch coming here. Again, top of the first with only one away, and our base is loaded as he misses inside. That is a walk leading to a run, I believe. Unless, no, wait. Yes, it is. Okay. Yep. And so, yeah, Koja having about as bad a beginning to a game as you can have. Don't really know what else to say other than that, but Buffalo's now up here, top of the first inning, 1-0. As we see the Rakuten manager there, probably already thinking about pulling his starter, because I don't know if it's going to get better from here, but let's, again, bases loaded. You can always get into a double play, as Kurabayashi is coming up to the plate here. Batting .367 so far early in the season. One of the better offensive shortstops in the Pacific League. As the first pitch is a very ugly breaking ball missing way low and outside for ball number 1. You know, I saw for a second there, it showed 130 kilometers on the gun. For just a brief moment, I thought they were saying that Ko just pitched 130 pitches this inning, which it does kind of feel like, to be completely fair, as he's reached pitch number 31. Pitch number 32 coming along the way. And the 1-0 delivery to Kurabayashi is a fastball high and inside, ball number 2.
Don't worry, Jimbo. It's not that far past the Rubicon yet. Only 32 pitches, not 145.
No, yeah, we're getting there though. We're really
at this rate, he might be there before they pull him.
Yeah, just let him go. We have no bullpen arms today.
Well, they do have quite a few arms available.
That's true. 2-0 delivery on the way as Kurabayashi fouls that off. Hey, it fouls a strike at least, so that's a slight progress.
And it's actually worth mentioning, and as much trouble as the Eagles' rotation seems to be in generally outside of their ace Hayakawa, they have a couple of like long in the tooth veterans who are still really crafty and know what to do. And the back end of their bullpen is actually pretty darn good. Shoma Fujihira, Takahiro Norimoto used to be a starter. They probably should have kept him as a starter.
As Koja misses inside yet again for ball number 3. You know, you do have to worry. You have to think about at some point, is it the humidity that's knocking him off his game here? Is the ball just slipping out of his hand constantly? That could be it.
Well, I mean, if he was constantly slipping out of his hand, you'd think he'd be going to that bag between every single pitch. and he's not quite there. I think he's just a little bit rattled with how easily they've gotten to him. But I cannot say that the adverse conditions aren't affecting it.
As the 3-1 delivery on the way here to Kobayashi. Again, bases loaded here in the top of the first as the Buffaloes are already up 1-0. And the pitch is hit right back to Koja. Koja grounds it, throws it over to home plate. They managed to make the play, stopping the run, but Kobayashi does get to first. All in all, pretty successful play for the Eagles there.
Yeah, I mean, we actually have some outs on the board. That's helpful.
Hey, you got an out. You saved a run. And now Coach is having a little meeting there. Again, I got to imagine they're asking him how the ball's feeling coming out of his hand. Because there's been a lot of missing down in the dirt.
Well, and when it gets wet like this, if he had been able to knock that ball down, that would have been an easy 1-2-3 double play, and this would not look nearly as bad. But an out is an out, especially when it saves a run.
All things considered, great defensive play by Koja there to both get the ball down and make the snap decision to get the runner out at home plate there. So that moves Yumatongo over to second. I believe that gets not Kotaro Kiyomiya, but Tsukimoto over to third. And Kotaro Kiribayashi is at first base.
Correct. Ducks on the pond. And here we have Keita Nakagawa.
It was the right fielder for the Buffaloes here as the first pitch comes and missing high and outside yet again, ball one. I like that comment by Nick Springthorpe here, where if the outfielders aren't going to get your outs, you got to get your outs. That's, as long as they come, right? Batting 438 so far this season. Pretty good start to the season. You can't get too carried away with how these early season start goes. As he rails that out to left field, Abe will not have the chance to get it this time as he picks it up. I'm going to throw over to the relay as I believe Yumatongo will still get home. And He picks up another 2 RBI, and the Buffaloes are already starting to run away with this one here in the top of the third. 3-0 for the Oryx side. And Mike is telling me here backstage that Oryx actually has the 9th walk rate and the 2nd lowest K percentage in the league. So definitely putting a lot of balls in play, and that might be really tricky with today's conditions. As you see Namikawa's beautiful swing there, making great contact to get the 2 RBI.
But it does also start to reset the bases. You got runner on second and a runner on first. Miyagi also getting ready for his start. He comes in and takes the mound in the bottom half of the inning.
Maybe for all we know, he'll pitch 40 pitches. Koji's already getting up to 37 here. I think this will be pitch number 38. Man on first and second. As the pitch comes through and a big swing and miss, strike one. I didn't get a chance to see who's batting here. I believe that
is Wakatsuki.
There we go. One of the best defensive catchers in the league. Spelled on the other side by Tomoyo Mori, who's out today, but one of the best offensive catchers in the league. So nice little punch.
I was looking into some stats achieved season to date. Tomoyo Mori hasn't even appeared on the top level team thus far.
I think he was injured for a lot of last season, so he's probably rehabbing, I'd imagine. And
that makes sense.
Delivery on the way. Paints the corner inside, finally. Strike number 2.
Hey, we got a something in 2 count. That's been a while.
There we go. A nice pitch that went his way.
Take him when you can get him. Hey, he might get out of this by 40.
That's a brutal thing to say about a starter. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
0-2 delivery on the way. Let's see if he gets out here at 40. Swing over to passes the shortstop, and he's not going to make the play. They won't pick up another RBI, but it is another bases-loaded situation here on pitch number 40 for Koja. Again, we've said it quite a few times here in the first inning. Not how you want to start a game.
Well, and Koja's got a little bit of adverse conditions working against him here. This is not a great environment to control a baseball very effectively, so that his best control is not good enough when you've got a ton of rain soaking down the ball and making everything harder. And Oryx famous for making contact, that he's not able to get them to swing and miss very much. This is Shuhei Fukuda playing center today.
I believe Fukuda has been with the Buffaloes quite a long time. Been with them in 2018. As the first pitch comes, he fouls that off 0-1.
Mike making the comment about the analytics side of things. With batting average on balls in play, Oryx is hitting 357, which
Whew.
I don't know what the league average is, but that number just seems a little high coming from an MLB fan perspective.
Yeah, that's got to be, it's definitely, you think, one of the highest numbers in the league. There's the 0-1 delivery on the way of Koja here, and that's fouled off again. No, it's actually popped way up. Abe has the chance to make the play, and they miss it. Oh, my goodness. At least that goes down as another strike and not another error for the team.
It was closer. Murabayashi ended up sliding after it, but it was just a little bit past his reach. He's kind of shaking his hand off now. Looks like a little waterlogged down there. I do not know the rules specifically for NPB about how many innings have to be completed before, if the game is called, that it counts as a game or not. But in the last couple of days, there have been games played where less than 3 full innings were completed, and it became a no game by consequence of calling it off.
And the 0-2 delivery is coming up here, and it's fastball high up the middle for ball number 1.
Collectively, Oryx is slashing 309, 356 on base, 455 slugging. Yeah, this is the offense that Oryx kind of wanted to have last year.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why they were so far leading the league. I think, what are they setting at, 9-3, something like that? They're really good start to the season.
Something like
as
that.
As Koja picks up a strikeout to end his, what a way to get out of the first inning for him with a beautiful curveball on the outside, and that takes us to the bottom of the first. Only half an hour to get there. Oh my goodness! As the Oryx Buffaloes are up 3-0.
It's fair to
this
say,
is an indication of what's to come. We are going to be here a while.
I mean, Abe is in the lineup.
Oh boy.
Giving Mike not flashbacks, but just like shivers by comparison here.
No, they're flashbacks, you know.
They are a equivalent to shell shock, in my opinion.
I was going to say Vietnam flashbacks, but I guess it's more like Sendai flashbacks, right?
Oof.
Oh, hey.
Hey, wait, they're in Sendai.
I made a funny.
But I will say that was a good inning to have technical difficulties on my end, because for my first play-by-play, that would have been quite the inning.
Yes, yeah. No, I did what I could with that, but I imagine Coach is probably not going to come out here for a second inning, but maybe he will. Maybe they'll just figure, you know.
I mean, it's only 44 pitches.
There have been longer.
Yeah, I would think that he's probably going to have a conversation with the manager, Ryomiki, and the pitching coach in the dugout, and then they'll decide between the 3 of them where they'll go back out for the second. But Hideo Miyagi's coming out right now, and interesting with Miyagi, when Yamamoto was with Oryx, he was kind of like, there was this 1-2 punch with him and Yamamoto, like the 2 aces. Not that Oryx doesn't have a pitching staff of 5 aces, but it was quite interesting with that following year after Yamamoto left last year, just the way the regression that Oryx had, and now the Oryx pitching staff, the pitching lab, and everybody working behind the scenes has ensured that they've come back to their, what is it now, 8-3 record?
9-3, 9-3-1. But for what it's worth, checking in on the chat, welcome East Bay 66 back to the broadcast. We appreciate you as always. Fact checking 2 of the games, 2 of the 8 postponements by rain were abandoned in the 3rd inning. So,
all right. And Matt, what do you have on the pitch mix for Miyagi here?
Pitch mix for Miyagi. Give me just a second, because I got to pull it up again. Miyagi has he loves to throw a fastball. He's got like a couple of different pitch shapes on his sliders, forkball. changeup and curveball. Generally speaking, he's going to be good with the off speed and the breaking stuff. Fastball, he does throw challenge pitches. He did a lot more of that last season than previously, kind of living up to the ace billing.
And that one I thought was going to be a camera cut to
If that was a home run, we were in for a really interesting start to the game here.
a lot of quirks when you're not physically at the game.
Yeah.
Something
interesting
about
I find about Miyagi. I think we've had games of his before. I'm always fascinated by his sort of very whip-like delivery. Very opens his whole body up and kind of wangs that thing in there. It's a very
crossfire
strange
delivery.
delivery.
He does have that. It has an interesting, like, just the way that arm action is.
Kind of reminds me of, I know you guys don't like when I bring up cricket, but it reminds, and of course I've forgotten the player's name as I brought that up, so I'm just going to keep moving. There is a player, though, in cricket who throws the ball like that.
Yeah, I know next to nothing about cricket, but good to know.
I was so ready with the reference, and then I was like, I don't know who that is.
Shanking your own references. Oof.
Yeah. Very good. Good commentary. Whoa. Something about that ball looked like lightning coming in there, but that brings us to a full count here.
That looked like a strike to me.
No, it was inside.
Oh, there, you're right. I'm just.
Inside.
That's why I wear glasses.
Well,
Can never be an umpire, I don't think. But
I mean, you have to have a really thick skin to be an umpire.
Well, Mike is a Phillies fan. That has to
Ooh.
count for something.
The Phenom, Joe
genuinely know what that
Ota,
means.
wings it over to first, and there's the first out of the inning very quickly for Miyagi.
with Rockton already down 0-3, it's going to be pretty tough for them to be able to come back, as Oryx as a team their starting pitching has an ERA of 1.69.
Nice.
That's absurd. And yeah, that's ranked for 1 in all of NPB, not just Pacific League. And then their starting pitchers rank number 1 in K so far with 62, which is 3rd in all of NPB. So with Rockton kind of having the identity crisis that they're having these past couple of years, it's only 3 runs, but it's going to be a very uphill battle for them, so to speak.
Well, and recent trends too. I mean, they haven't scored very many. Ooh, that was a looping curveball. Oh,
He plays it off, but Murabayashi almost got his counterpart out there, but didn't quite make the play. And also, yes, Snaptown, you're right. Just as I looked it up myself, where I was talking about Lasith Malinga, one of the best T20 bowlers in cricket history. All right, I'm done with the cricket references.
teach me more about this game that's not baseball. It almost looked like it bounced off of Murabayashi's foot for some reason. Like it kind of like dived down towards him before going out. It was weird. Miyagi probably should have let that ball alone because he didn't glove it and made it harder to play for Kurebayashi.
I've always found it very confusing that Murabayashi and Kurebayashi have such similar names, play the same position, and are also pretty similar players in that being very offensively competent shortstops.
As that's ball 1 to Ryosuke Tatsumi, the center fielder, who was one of the honestly one of the few highlights that Rakuten had last year. One of the few star performers all year. As he gets that one over to the second baseman, he'll throw it over to, is that Tongu at first?
Yes, Tongu's at first.
You can tell these notes were done on short notice.
He almost beat that out, by the way. Can I point out that he was busting down that line? Does move Murabayashi over to second base. And Jimbo, to your point about Murabayashi, Kurebayashi, it's kind of moot because Rui Muneyama is their shortstop of the future, so we won't be confused anymore.
There is that. But I can't help but wonder with how close he got to getting to first there. I mean, he is quick, obviously, but I really feel like this field is taking a lot out of the ball, which could lead to some interesting bang-bang plays in infield play as our favorite player comes up to bat. Oh, that looked like a strike to me, but just missing outside as Abe takes ball 1.
And for all the jokes we've been making about Abe, I believe he's, leading the team in batting average right now, WAR and OPS. He's currently just seeing the ball really well and possibly could make a run for a batting title if he keeps it up, all season.
Well, and the book on Abe is that he's at the phase where he's a veteran hitter and he does really well in that department. But as you can see, he's probably lost a step in the field, and it makes it a little bit difficult to find a spot for all of the bats.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
Just winging that inside for strike number 2. Now let's see Abe work his magic and turn this into a 10-pitch at bat.
Now, if he makes it a 10-pitch at bat, does he work a walk out of that, or does he just have a dribbler at first?
Well, I mean, it could go either way. Ooh. Okay, Wakatsuki managed to block it, and it was close enough to him that nobody could advance a base. But they do have a runner in scoring position, so this isn't nothing, especially with a batter like Abe at the plate. Situational hitting is huge here.
And as bad as a 3-0 deficit in the first inning is, that's totally... You've also got as much time as you possibly can to work your way out of it. It was Abe with a good eye there, watching that fastball miss just low and inside for ball number 3.
Miyagi is definitely trying to pepper the corners here, make Abe swing at something. Unfortunately, Abe is pretty well known for taking at this point. Full count now.
And I believe we were talking about Moniyama, the recent first overall pick that Rakuten got. Abe is also himself a lottery pick for the Eagles way back in, I want to say 2018, as he fouls that off. Gonna go double check on that. Oh no, I got him totally mixed up with somebody else. No,
I was about to say 2018 seems a little. I mean, if he came out of the industrial leagues, maybe.
Not only that, he also got picked up by the Dragons first.
Another full count pitch on the way, and slugged in the air to right field. It is well foul.
You know what? I was thinking of Ryosuke Tatsumi. That's where I got mixed up there.
Yeah, Tatsumi being a little younger makes a little bit more sense.
It wouldn't be a broadcast with me if I wasn't just butchering names and getting people totally wrong left and right.
I'll give you credit. You were doing this before I knew about NPB, so I just happened to know Japanese before I joined the broadcasts.
I called Sugimoto Kiyomiya earlier.
I mean, that was nearly a threat, but Abe grounds out to Kurebayashi, and they go relatively quiet in the first inning. Still a 3-0 game in favor of Oryx.
And with how long that first inning went, we are getting the top of the lineup once again here for the Buffaloes. We'll see if Koja comes out again. And let's see what happens here in the top of the second.
I mean, we definitely didn't get any camera work on Koja preparing for his inning, so it's hard to say. I wonder about this because I think that in MLB parks, they purposely make the bullpen visible, but in NPB stadiums, aren't they like all basically part of the dugout complex?
Yeah, a good amount of them are underground.
So,
and they have like a little TV sometimes in a dugout. That's pretty much all you get. And if you're lucky, a stadium camera will actually, peer into that, and you can kind of guess who's warming up. But yeah, for the most part, it's
right,
pretty much invisible.
All right, so to what we were worried about, is Koja coming back out for the second inning or not? I think he's back out for the second inning. That's definitely a lefty warming up.
And yep, there he is.
I mean, 44 pitches in a single inning is not a great total, especially as a starter when you want length, but it's only 44 pitches. Most Japanese teams are probably a little bit more willing to let pitch counts run up, and so I would suspect that he'll probably be able to pitch another couple, unless he puts together 2 innings back-to-back that are like that, because then you can't justify keeping him in if you want to make it a winnable game.
No, yeah, for sure. If he gets into trouble again here, you got to get him out.
But also, if you expect he's going into trouble, you get the bullpen moving sooner. So there's definitely the timing of all of that is a dance, to be sure.
As I think is that Mune coming in?
Mune. Yep, Yuma Mune. He grounded out to second his first time up, which was about the easiest out that Koja had in that entire inning.
As the first pitch is coming here from Koja, and that's a real close fastball, high and inside for ball number one. If you're gonna miss, you might as well miss there, right?
Oh yeah, knock him off the plate a little bit.
And another pitch, a breaking ball. That was pretty well outside. I'll give you that for ball number two.
Sometimes the calls are really easy to make. Sometimes they aren't.
Exactly. Sometimes being an umpire is easy.
I love those moments because you really can't get mad when they're doing it perfectly right. That was
there you go again.
Right down the heart of the plate.
An easy call, fastball right down the middle for strike number one. That's a strike for anybody but Angel Hernandez.
Nah.
Just got to get that out there.
Angel Hernandez would find a way to call that a ball. You're right. But still.
2-1 delivery coming here on the way for Koja as Mune rockets that out to right field, but that will be an easy fly out. And, hey, look, Koja got himself an easy out first there. Then again, Mune was the only guy he got out easily the first time around, too.
Yeah, that could be a repeat.
Well, and Mune's not been doing great this season thus far. He's kind of the main exception to the Oryx offense doing really well.
Oh, there's someone's making a weird sound. There you go. As Ryota fouls that off for strike number one.
Speaking of sounds getting into our broadcast here, I'm very sad we don't get to hear the cheering sections doing their thing with the trumpets and all that good stuff.
Yeah, especially here at Miyagi Park, where the
trumpets. I misspoke because this particular park, I remember Gabe said this on the last matinee that we had in Rakumo. They are near a hospital, and so all of the away teams don't bring the trumpets for the cheering sections. But it still gets loud. Ooh, that's a nice pick.
Oh, beautiful throw.
You know what? It's pretty early, but Yukiya Ito might just be hello, future Gabe. It's the best defensive player we've seen so far. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
because that was hot corner. I mean, yeah, the Koja knocked the ball down. That was really good, but that was pure reflex, and he had enough arm to get him out by it.
Beautiful, kind of bit of a frozen rope throw there. And yet, as J Hodge is pointing out, and Philip LSA VLSA pointed out, or no, I'm getting everything wrong today. Anyway, the Oryx Blue Wave were Ichiro's first team, but the Oryx Buffaloes came after the Blue Wave after a merger with the Kintetsu Buffaloes.
I was going to say they were separate franchises first.
As Koja gets a nice breaking ball low and inside for strike number one. And another defensive swing gets through, or nope, that was fouled off there by Nishikawa. And yeah, as Roger Tillman points out, it is very respectful of the fan bases. That's a very interesting thing about Japanese baseball compared to American, is the fan bases are extremely respectful of each other, generally speaking. 0-2 delivery coming here, high, way high for ball number one.
Just a bit outside. No, I think some of it has to do with, the culture, but also, the stadiums are much closer together, relatively speaking, and a lot of American ones. So they have fans that travel pretty well, as Nishikawa fouls that off. They have fans that travel pretty well, and there's been this accepted tradition of, hey, you know what? When your team's up to bat, you can do all of the cheering and we'll let it happen. If you tried getting a cheering section together for, say, the Yankees at Rogers Center, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over very well. As Nishikawa fouls that off again, man, he is a defensive swing master.
That is hit to short, and Murabayashi throws it over to Asamura, and guess what? That's a pretty easy 3 up, 3 down inning.
And after that beating Koja took in the first inning, that's got to restore some of his confidence. As we head into the bottom of the second, the Oryx Buffaloes are still up 3-0.
I also wonder if it doesn't have something to do because it looks like the rain is lightened up a little bit. It doesn't look nearly as like misty as it did when we first started streaming.
Yeah, I'm not seeing so much like obfuscation between us and the players.
Yeah.
It really would be nice to know what is on the stadium jukebox right now, but
Yeah, no, I'm not hearing anything. I'm seeing it go.
I was going to start singing something, but then maybe we get copyright struck. Maybe everyone leaves because I'm singing. We can't play that risky game.
Hey, I didn't say I was going to sing. I wanted to listen first. If I recognized it, no. Yeah, you ever know those people who are like they don't know the intro to the song, but as soon as they get to the chorus, they start singing along obnoxiously loud because they're like, I know this part.
Yes, that's me.
and they like just make up words or kind of blah da 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 their way through the lyrics until they get to the part, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
Actually, it kind of reminds me. I had a talk with my boss today at work where I was like, "There's this one coworker. I don't mind his music, but he sings really badly. Can I tell him to stop? Like, what's the protocol on that? Am I allowed to tell him to stop?"
All right, Hideto Asamura stepping in, playing first base today, but continuing his ridiculous streak of being the modern day NPB Iron Man. That's a big hack. Ooh.
Huge swing and miss for strike number one.
You can't hit them all.
was part of the last Lions championship team, actually. He's one of the few remaining players still active in the league from that.
Well, and, we talk about the Lions and drops that one breaking pitch in there for a strike. We talk about the Lions having a hard luck the last few years. Like, I have not followed NPB when they've been good. But they're fouled it off himself. Distressing history of like of losing their best players certainly contributes to that.
Well, I mean, in the '80s, they were the best team in the whole league, not just the Pacific League. They won like 10 straight championships or something. They were an absolute mega team.
Yeah.
As Osmore is already down in the hole here, 0-2, breaking ball just low and outside for ball number one. Very good eye there to lay off that. 1-0 delivery on the way. Woo! Gotsky tried to frame that in there, but he did not get away with it.
If you can literally see him move the glove, isn't it too obvious? I mean, come on.
It was a decent frame job, though. He did his best.
Well, a decent frame job and getting the frame are not the same thing. In the end, a ground out to Yuma Tongu there for Hideto Asamura. Like, I know I bring this up almost every time that I'm on the broadcast, but my brother was a former catcher. So talking about how to frame, snapping your glove into position just to kind of make it look like the pitch was in the zone when you're making that obvious of a movement doesn't really work, unfortunately. Here's a right fielder, Yoshiaki Watanabe.
A lot more of like a right down the middle for strike one. I think it's become a lot more of a thing in modern day. Like pitch framing has become such a kind of well-known practice that it's weird.
Sure. Well, and we didn't have a lot of good data on what value it provided defensively for a long time. Like you had got all the way into the 2000s before we really had any kind of idea the impact that framing could have, and the catchers who were really good at it, of course, were highly valued. Nowadays, that art, which might be even lost further with the automatic balls and strike system coming up, could be going away even further. Here, it's still very prevalent.
Do you remember that Pirates catcher that after they started tracking defensive
Russell Martin
framing, not Russell Martin, it was before him. All of a sudden, as they added that, his WAR went negative. Pirates catcher.
That be Mani Sangien then?
No, I think it was Miyagi just picked up a strikeout there as we're discussing the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Hey, I mean, it was relevant-ish. the
Of
framing
all the
thing.
issues
Anyway.
we've had so far.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Miyagi's got that really wild little whip delivery there. I love it. And
Yeah.
I'll just keep commenting on it. I just really enjoy it.
The crossfire delivery is really, really nice. Here
I
comes
believe that's
Michael
Miguel
Franco.
coming up here. Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, yucky. Big swing and a
All
miss.
right. All right, Mike, you got to tell us, how does it feel watching him in the second league because he was a former Philly?
I'm happy that he's still having a chance at success. I mean, he didn't have any with that swing right there, but ultimately, I'm just really surprised that he's still playing. Is just because I know it was 2019, the last real shot he had. He got sent down to the minors on his birthday for failing to run out a ground ball, and ever since then, I kind of lost track of him until he ended up here at the Eagles.
Well, I mean,
Miyagi whips that one in there for strike number 2. Valpig's here saying he's a Freiburg fan for the Bundesliga, so that's suffering right there. That's some brutal suffering.
is that on par with Lions or is that on par with Chicago White Sox, though? I got to know.
Oh, way worse than both.
Way worse than both.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. No, I mean, that's like, I don't think they've ever even been close to winning. Whoa, Miguel Franco takes a huge swing and miss on another breaking ball outside. It looks like Miyagi was like, I'll get you with that one. I got you with it already. As that brings us to the end of the second inning. Eagles still down here at their home park. 3-0 down to the Orcs Buffaloes as we head into the top of the third.
And hey, we're still a little bit ahead of where we would have started the game in Chiba if we had done that one.
That is true. Yep. And it's actually crazy to think that over half the broadcast so far was the top of the first inning.
I mean, that's not really surprising when you look at pitch count per inning, but you know.
Speaking of, is Koja coming back out here? It looks like him from the distance.
From far distance, yes, it does kind of look like that. And after the last inning, he kind of deserves a chance. It's one of those things, too, that once you give up the big inning, it's kind of like you got two options. You either ruin their confidence by saying, okay, we can't keep you in, or giving them a chance to work it out. And Coach is young enough. I mean, he was their first round pick all of 2 years ago. Like, they're going to try and let him work out of this. Also, those dugout chairs are amazing, but I didn't realize they were all such hardcore gamers.
Those are beautiful chairs.
They are beautiful chairs. I love how they have the logo for, well, not the logo. They have the team colors. That's what I was going to say.
No, they did have a logo too.
Yeah, they have the logo for the chair, not for the team, though.
These are a really nice change-up. Oof. Oof.
Oh, there's the, okay, yeah, I guess there's the, it was behind their bodies, okay? I couldn't see it.
I want to say that about the chairs that I saw them for sale inside of a Yodobashi camera. I don't know if they were just the team colors or if they had the logo on them. I don't remember. I do know that they were over $1,000.
Oh, Yodobashi camera like in the US?
Oh, no. That was last year. It was the Yodobashi camera in Chiba City, I believe.
Gotcha.
Sugimoto up here as he hits one way out to left field. That might be going, gone, and it is big bang home run for Sugimoto, picking up his third home run of the season as he extends the Buffaloes' lead to 4-0 here in the top of the third.
That was one of the most tame home run calls I think I've ever heard in my life, Jimbo.
Hey, I thought it might have been a pop-up. I had to hedge my bet.
You had to hedge your bets.
Why do you wonder? Why? You're like, oh, he nails that. It's going, it's caught.
Right. Well, and why do you think so many great announcers are like, they always leave a pause before they say for sure?
And Sugimoto has a his celebration is I'm blanking. Why do I keep blanking on the reference?
Ken.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
North Star. He hits the Rao pose.
Oh, Rao's pose. I did not recognize that in the moment, but I actually have seen that show.
I believe he also drops Rao quotes in interviews after he hits a home run.
Ooh. Well, if he's here of the game. And that's grounded to second base and fairly easy out there. Hiroko
Kobakata flicks that over to first, and Koja just gets right back to it, picks himself up the first out of the inning here.
Well, I mean, Sugimoto, obviously, it's one bad pitch, right? Or maybe it's one really good swing, more correctly. Although it did kind of stay up a little bit. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest pitch.
Yeah, and Sugimoto's a big guy. He loves those high balls to crush for home runs. I swear, every time I've seen him hit a home run, it's just a nice high meatball for him. As one of the Biyashis is in the play here.
I don't know where you were going with that, but anyways.
I was like, it's a correct. I never know.
Here's Kurebayashi. I found it interesting, like, because they aren't showing the pitch mix thing because they needed to do this part so far. But for Kurebayashi, right, he had that like leg sitting up in the air for a while for timing purposes. See, there it is right there.
And he gets that just an easy little fly out to right field and 2 away here. Again, I have enough trouble with Kurebayashi and Murabayashi, and them being in the same game, I am going to be hopeless.
Don't worry. We'll try and keep you straight here, Jimbo.
And that brings up Nikotsuki, I think?
No, this is Nakagawa.
Nakagawa, that's it. Yeah, again, where would I be without getting the names wrong? And Nakagawa picked up, I believe he was the one who knocked in those 2 runs in the first inning, as Koja is trying to get his revenge.
He had a 2 RBI single.
Koja already up to 65 pitches here in the top of the third with the 1-1 delivery on the way. And he fouls that off way out to the right side. 0-2. 1-2, I should say. And they're going to show a replay here of that really well hit single he got to pick up the runs in the first inning.
Actually, that means Sugimoto scored twice. I just realized. And another single, this time into right field. There's the Oryx cheering section in Rakuten Mobile Park. Ah, yes, They use the oven mitts here too.
The idea of having away cheering sections like designated in American baseball seems so like the idea of the horrors that would happen in like a Red Sox Yankees.
Well, Red Sox Yankees, any real big rivalry, especially if they're near enough, which already does happen, right? When you think about teams that are close enough together that their fans travel pretty well, Northeast happens a lot. It would not go over as well because the respect just isn't there.
Isn't there? Yeah. It's the 1-0 delivery on the way here for Wakatsuki, I believe, and that's just outside for ball number 2.
It's kind of interesting watching the lower left corner, the graphic there. It almost feels like the pitches aren't landing where they say they are, but that's just because there's an offset in the camera.
Yes, that's true.
Like the camera is closer to, stolen base attempt. Nakagawa gets it.
You gotta love a base runner when you pick the time to go for a stolen base on a breaking ball. It's almost automatic.
I believe that's one of his first of the season. Let me check on that real quick. Keita Nakagawa. That's actually his 3rd stolen base attempt. He has made it on all of them.
And so he's kind of flipped the inning, actually, now. There's a runner in scoring position as Koja picks up his first strike, trying to work his way out of another little bit of a jam here, not wanting to give up too many runs.
Yeah.
As here comes pitch 72 for the young man. 3-1 delivery on the way as Wakatsuki fouls that off to the third base line, bringing us to a full count.
Hey, a foul ball counts as a strike when you get up until you get to 2. Unless it's a bunt.
I thought that was Abe for a second. I thought that was such foreshadowing. I was like, that's crazy. That's
No,
crazy
no, no,
work right there.
no. That's not manager. I'm pretty sure.
3-2 delivery on the way as he hits
Hit
that
the
up the
right
middle
hitter.
that looks like it's going to die in right field.
Drops.
He is definitely going to get some extra bases off that. The right fielder fumbles it. He will easily make his way over to Wakatsuki easily makes his way over to second base as he picks up an RBI and extends the Buffaloes lead to 5-0 here in the bottom of the top of the third, actually.
Yep. Well, I'm certainly grateful that I have my very first game broadcasting with all of this crew with the Buffaloes. This is the first time I've had to broadcast a game with Buffaloes in it, and they are definitely playing up to the hype. Division,
Yeah,
they're
no,
leading the
there's
league.
a reason they are leading the league right now.
Leading the league. Their offense is clicking on multiple cylinders, especially compared to last year. Now I know it's still early and small sample size, but it's nice to see in person.
As who is that? I didn't get the chance to see
This is
who.
Fukuda. Fukuda's
There we
back
are.
up. He struck out last time up. Struck out looking, I should add.
He's got a
Also,
runner on second with 2 away here, and the 1-0 pitch from Koja. Breaking ball beautifully placed just down low for strike number
okay.
1, as I believe that is pitch number 75 for him. My goodness.
Yep, 75.
Can't imagine he's going to make it into the next inning. I guess 3 innings is kind of the least you could ask out of your starter.
Well, it depends on how many you have in the bullpen and how rested they are, of course.
1-1 delivery on the way as he hits that up to Kuribayashi, who throws it over to
That's
first. It's
Murabayashi.
Murabayashi. Oh, I was so
So
I say it was so
close.
close, like it wasn't a coin flip. That brings us over to the bottom of the
it
third
wasn't a
inning.
coin flip. The bottom of the order coming up for the Eagles in the bottom of the third, it'll be Hikaru Ota, Hiroto Kobukata, and finally to get back around to the top of the order, Yukiya Ito.
And thank you all for joining us now at what was supposed to be the time for our match. As you may see, rain has altered our plans today. But for those of you just joining us, we apologize for the technical difficulties of not having stadium sound today. But if you at home watching would like to hear the stadium sound and Japanese commentary, you subscribe to PLTV, where it's just, I think, 1,500 yen a month, which equates to about 10, 15 bucks USD or CAD, depending on which side of the border you're on. And you get to watch all the games, all the pro top level games, all the minor league games, and you have beautiful stadium sound. It's wonderful to hear all the Japanese fans. Check it out on PLTV. Or I think you actually have to check out Pacific League TV. I should probably get the name of the thing right.
Yeah, that might be helpful, yeah, especially if we're plugging those things. Checking in on the chat. Thanks for everybody who's watching right now. Obviously, we are at the place where we were going to be streaming, just not the game we were planning to be streaming. Weather decided to get out of the way if you're just joining us. And Philip in the chat says, "Get headphones. I'm for sure staying if you're singing."
Thank you. Oh, yeah, as Paxton points out, no blackouts. Definitely something to keep in mind. Yeah, we get you all the games no matter what. Again, maybe not no matter what.
Well, all the games that happen. If they're rained out, we can't get them to you. But Paxton's other comment makes me laugh. Is just call me a fair weather fan, but I'll go ahead and claim Oryx as my NPB team.
And that's fine. Actually, we have a rule here generally where if you come into a first game and you don't have a team, whoever wins, that's got to be your team. Just jump in with them. As Miyagi gets off to a good start here with a strike right down the middle. The Eagles still haven't made their way to their first time up through the order as Kuribayashi makes the throw.
Kuribayashi throws out.
Got it. There's got to be a way I can remember it. Like I'm trying to figure out some sort of mnemonic device.
Mnemonic. Let's see. Well, both of them had. Never mind. That doesn't work.
Well,
Let's see.
Kobakata coming up to a bat here. He's one of those kind of lead-off nine guys. One of the fastest players in the league. A great base stealer.
I mean, the Eagles had a lot of good base stealers last year. Yuya Ogo is not in this game, but he was a fantastic base stealing threat. Kobukata had quite a few as well. Ryosuke Tatsumi, of course.
Ooh, Nick Springthorpe with a good mnemonic. Rakuten Kurabayashi. Not bad. Actually, yeah, everyone signed off with the
Rakuten
best base stealer.
Murabayashi, though.
Well, whatever.
Okay, so Jimbo, you ready? Do you think Osaka is a small place?
No.
Congratulations, it's not. And that's where Kurebayashi plays. Murabayashi, the kanji is like village.
That's 0% helpful. That is the least helpful thing anyone's ever said to me in my life.
Wow. I got a lot to compete with here. Your life. That's low
As
for ball
Miyagi
two.
puts another ball in the dirt there. I don't know what just happened with the umpire. That was a weird little exchange.
I think he was throwing a ball back to the dugout. This is what's happening with that one.
Oh, East Bay says he hears crowd noise. I think he might just be hearing me laugh, very possibly. As Kobakata skies that out to left field, and Sugimoto makes the. Oh no, that's the other guy.
That is Nishikawa.
There we go. That's.
And finally, back up to the top of the order for the Eagles. You can tell how Miyagi is cruising, that it's taken 3 innings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've only given up 1 hit so far, and that'll bring us up to. Whoa.
Yukiya Ito.
Back away from the mic so I didn't burp right into it there. Very sorry about that.
Well, appreciate you saving the years. I remember the time that I did not. You remember too, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. As he hits that over to.
That's Kurebayashi.
I'm never going to get it. I've just decided I'm never going to get it. We're at the top of the 4th. The Buffaloes are still leading 5-0. As we're going to head back to the top of the order for the Oric side.
You know the thing they say about Murabayashi kind of looks like a kabuki actor.
No,
like he has the. I swear, Gabe has made this point before. that they're saying that he kind of has the facial features, the deep set eyes and such of like kabuki actors before they put the makeup on, of course. Well, Rakuten Kabuki, that's where you get Murabayashi. I'm trying real hard here.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work,
no, it's not going to take. I'll figure it out somehow. No, I won't.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like, it's better just to concede. I am what I am as a person.
All right. Meanwhile, they're doing some exchange with the cheerleaders in some like fan gear in left field. There looks like they're running off the field now. And oh yeah, you got to take care of the base pass. But it does look like Koja is back out there for top of the 4th. Because it's not like the Eagles have a ton of lefties. So the fact that it's a left-handed pitcher on the mound warming up right now is pretty easy to guess. Of course, one of their other lefties is the ace of the staff, Takahisa Hayakawa. And Hayakawa this year is making last year look almost like an outlier, which is kind of sad.
And so that he's doing badly. I mean,
yes.
The Eagles' pitching numbers are doing very rough so far this season.
Right, but to the point that like even Hayakawa isn't immune to this problem. Koja, of course, had the complete game shutout, with not the person you expect, but then in this start, he's obviously having a whole lot of struggles. Hayakawa's ERA actually, I think, starts with like a 3 right now, which is pretty crazy given where he was last season. Let me see. I can check that. I will check that. Hayakawa's ERA currently is 2.89, so almost 3. Third time through the order for the Oryx Buffaloes. Here's Yuma Mune again.
Yep, getting underway yet again. Yumamune has had more at bats than everyone on Rakuten so far. As he takes a ball high and inside for ball number one. Skojic gets ready for yet another pitch as Mune fouls that off for strike number one.
I mean, yeah, he's seen a little bit of traffic, but you can tell that Koja is kind of like locking into his game a little bit more.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah, I said a little bit more.
I mean, at this point, if like, why waste the bullpen arm? I guess as a breaking ball high and outside for ball number two. Mune, I believe 2 seasons ago, was one of the best offensive third basemen in the league. Like a lot of other Buffaloes, had a down year last year, but looking to get back on it with a fastball way inside for ball number three. And here we are yet again with another pitch as Mune skies it way up to third, and that'll be an easy collect for the first out of the inning. Man, I was going to look like a J.A. if the third baseman dropped that. And for those of you wondering where Mike is, apparently his dog is barking a lot, so he's been relegated to the back rooms. But he is helping us out still backstage, and he should be back with us soon. As Ryo Ota comes up for his third at bat of the night, as Koja gets a fastball low and outside for strike number one. I say Matt's, Mike's, no, everyone.
What is it with you getting names wrong?
Am I the only person in the stream right now?
No, you.
Matter of fact, you're hallucinating right now. None of this is actually happening, Jimbo.
I've been having really weird dreams lately, and I
playoffs.
genuinely wouldn't be surprised if I was having a dream this vivid and
Pacific
hallucinatory.
League TV after dark. No, it's my family's dog, so I was out for making sure that you didn't get to all hear the barking on the stream.
I can't believe that wasn't a strikeout for Koja there, and I think he is feeling incredulous, and I agree with him.
I mean, the barking would have been good crowd noise.
I mean, it'd be about the only crowd noise we've gotten so far.
You should have let the barking happen.
Well, the next time that it comes up, I won't mute then. Okay.
As it's a breaking ball low and inside for strike number two. Or ball number two. Oy vey. That part of the night for me.
And it's only just after 1.
The 2-2 delivery, man. I got off a 12-hour shift, okay?
I know.
Fouls that off to the right side.
What did that hit? Did it like hit? Is that thing, the netting, a little bit more sturdy than I expected it to be? Because it looked like it bounced backwards.
I think it hit like one of the. I think there was like a pole in the middle, like one of the I guess like sections for the netting.
So it is a pole. That's kind of what I thought it had to be. Oh, big swing and a miss.
Koja does seem to be finding his groove here, or Ryo Ota just forgot how to swing for a moment. Either way,
no, he knows how to swing because he was swinging for that. He was swinging for the fences, though.
One beautiful forkball there, very nicely done. Oof! Oh my gosh.
That I don't know if that's quite as sore because it was a competitive swing, but that was a silly looking swing.
That was a knee to chest strikeout. And that brings us up to pitch number 88 for Koja here in the, where are we? Top of the fourth, and that's a strike low and inside for strike number one. See the chat as everyone's talking about how much they love playing baseball video games, and baseball video games are terrific. As
fair ball again.
Nishikawa hits it off to the right side. He will probably make his way over to second and picks himself up another double, I think, or a second hit for sure.
Yeah, because he had the bloop double into left last time. His last hit. Last time he grounded out.
I don't know what. So I've got my phone showing the chat, and I saw a man like waving weights around. I don't know how we missed that when I was looking at the actual stream.
No, don't worry. I saw the weights being lifted in the stream itself.
I
There you
think
go.
those are holdovers from when Masataka Yoshida was with
Oh,
the
Macho Man?
His whole thing is the inflated weights. I mean, I think they sell them at Fenway Park now.
Oh, geez. Pity he isn't playing up to par. Or playing at all at the moment. He's been rehabbing, I know that. Sugimoto had the home run his last time up. And another similar blow here would be a very, very strong statement that the Eagles cannot come back from.
As he takes a low ball for strike number 1. Yep.
Ball, first one ball was outside. Second one was in the zone, just low third.
I'm doing good.
You are doing good.
Oh, Philip saying we need a new MLB Slugfest. That's real. That's
That I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
That was one I remember playing. So
I'm willing to compromise. Give me MLB the Bigs 3 because the Bigs
Bigs?
was like same vibe, a lot of fun. I'm tired of realistic baseball games. I want like fun, silly, crazy baseball.
You're
games.
tired of realistic ones? All right, fair enough.
You know, I like the crazy ones. I like the ones where you can throw 150 miles an hour and then you can hit a home run that like blows up a building.
Or you have players literally on fire.
That's good stuff. That's baseball, baby.
Right. No wonder.
That's how baseball looks in my mind.
No wonder I forgot my incendiary proof uniforms. That's great.
In the Bigs, you could hit a home run that would like blow up the factory in Camden Yards. It rocked.
I can't wait to see them ruin the Western Supply Metal Company in San Diego.
There you go. See, Sugimoto fouls that off. It's totally losing track sometimes. 2-2 on the way here is.
I tell you what, this is the content you stick around for, folks.
Yeah,
we have fun here.
This is what happens when you get the wrong game, and we're all just having fun here, and it's 5-0 in the top of the fourth.
I mean, hey, we should always be having fun, whether it's the game we planned or the game we ended up with.
That's true. As coach is coming up here for pitch number 95, as Sugimoto fouls that off and keeps that going.
Doing his best Toshiki Abe impression.
Sugimoto is an interesting player because he went his first 6 seasons basically being not even really a bench player, and then 2021 he just goes off and leads the league in home runs with 32, and then
it was over.
Yeah, it's just kind of done with after that.
And then it was over. Reputation takes over, and people are disappointed when he doesn't live up to it. It's called a career year.
And 2-2 delivery, Sugimoto just takes an easy swing to float that out to Murabayashi.
You got it right.
Did it. Oh, look at me getting it right as he catches the ball. Oh.
Hey, more technical difficulties on our end. I think it's just trying to get crowd noise back. So hopefully
it might be a good technical difficulty. This might be good progress.
This might be trying to get the crowd noise back into it for us, which would be awesome. Haguruma, check the gear.
You can do it. You got it. We're close.
I try.
Josh was saying he hopes the Buffaloes win since the Astros lost today. I don't know what those two things have to do with each other.
Following these across oceans, it's wonderful. Pierre mentioning the fighters are in an indoor stadium, so at least they don't have to get rained out. I thought that it was a retractable situation, so not fully inside, but yes.
Either way, the Fighters have the most beautiful stadium in all of baseball. All of sports. I'm actually willing to go out there and say that.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and do a quick scoreboard update for the Fighters-Lions game. They are in the, looks like the bottom half of the third inning, and Seibu actually has a lead 3-1 right now.
That's wild. I'm going to look into that because I want to see who's putting it up for Seibu. Ishikawa, Cedeno. Oh, okay, nice.
And both teams just scored a run in the third inning, although I think the third inning is still technically ongoing right now as we speak for Hokkaido. Here comes the Kabuki actor-looking guy himself, Itsuki Murabayashi.
I was ready with it that time. That's because I saw his jersey.
Yeah, right. Give me a close up. I got it. If I got a close up, you notice his
Just see
playing
the
time.
first letter. I got it.
You notice his playing time is down because, of course, the hot prospect Muneyama has kind of pushed him over to third, and they've got a lot of good players on the Eagles who could play third base. Daichi Suzuki's there. Yuki Ito is there today. Murabayashi's collected a couple of starts there. Actually, before our season started, I did manage to catch one spring training game where Murabayashi was at third. I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. But apparently it really wasn't. Fouled off. That like stayed on his bat for a while. That one
Oh, and he
didn't.
chips
Oh,
that over to
oh.
Yamamoto at first, who collects it for the easy out. Oof, what a ugly
Just a
swing.
squibber off the end of the bat.
Just a desperate hack trying to get at it.
Also, I've noticed this several times on our broadcasts. The bases in NPB seem to be a whole lot more like pillows. There's a lot more height to them on the top part than there is in an MLB base. Called strike one against Tatsumi here.
Yeah, called strike one is definitely what I would have said for that too. Ex- okay, the way the sump was not favoring Koja, he is giving Miyagi some very generous calls here.
Reputation, but both of those were actually in the zone. To be fair,
If
according
if,
to
if that was a strike, I was going to lose my mind.
you mean you haven't already slowly been losing it bit by bit today here?
Oh,
12-hour
J-Dog
shift.
saying he liked those red and black fighters jerseys. Those were the firest things ever.
Red and black fighters jerseys. Ooh.
Yeah. Me and Gabe got into like a big argument about them. He hated them. They are the best jerseys in like sports history.
Hey,
Oh, the bowling
everything
jerseys.
everything is subjective. You're
No,
allowed to have your own opinion. People's
no,
might
red and
not
black
agree.
Harley Quinn ass jersey, best thing ever.
Yeah, those
Harley
things were
Quinn ass
fire.
jersey. Complete with cheerleaders, it probably works.
No, ooh, good times. As,
I mean, that's one thing that would be interesting to see how NPB they do have like the cheer squads. Well, maybe not as extensively as like the CPBL or what's the other one? KBO.
KBO, yeah.
Meanwhile, we just spoke over a called strike three that's probably the most called of all of them, and Tatsumi strikes out looking. And very quickly, 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Abe swings at the first pitch. It's down in right center field. Passes Fukuda. Ooh, he's backed up well by Nakagawa there. And Abe is held to a single.
Something absolutely unnatural about seeing Abe pick up a single
Swing at
off the first pitch.
Yeah. Can't have Sendai flashbacks when it's flash forwarding to, oh, wow, look at he hit the first pitch.
Yeah, just a beautiful swing, too. Just perfect contact that Nishikawa struggles with, but they were able to recover it to keep him from getting extra bases there.
Yeah, Fukuda wasn't able to get over there, but very good job backing up by Nakagawa. It's kind of hard sometimes if you're, the outfielder, you're the last line of defense. If you let the ball get past you, you're hosed.
As Hideto Asamura comes up here, and and he hits that off to second as Ryota very easily flips that over to Kurabayashi.
That's correct.
Wow, Asamura with a beautiful pompadour, incidentally, for a second there. That brings us over to the top of the fifth inning as the Buffaloes are cruising along here 5-0. As Koja's getting ready to come out again. All right, why not we'll just let him get his licks, I suppose. He hasn't been too bad outside of that catastrophic first inning.
I mean, the first inning was pretty damning evidence, but he's definitely settled in a little bit more. Aside from the home run, of course, it's been
but I mean that happens to everybody. You can't hold that too much against him.
Right.
It's like that first inning where there was like some real command issues going on there.
Should be Tongu, Kurebayashi, and Nakagawa. Should be the operative word. I forgot to take such careful notes as I've been trying to today.
And another little programming note, if you would like to keep up with the news and goings on within English of the MPB or the Pacific League more specifically, be sure to check out the podcast, which we do every week here on the same channel. It's all of us getting together every week and talking about the news and razzing each other, making fun of each other's teams as we do here.
Well, unless except for me, because usually you will record on nights I have rehearsal and I can't join. But sometimes I'll chime in. Async.
Sometimes you're prescient enough to make fun of us for something that hasn't happened yet. You just know I'm going to say something. You just throw it out there.
Well, I mean, I have been trying to make sure I comment, so I feel like I'm getting to participate anyway.
There you go.
And feel free to comment on it too. Do all those YouTubey things. I mean, you're obviously here watching our stream, so go check out the channel and listen to our podcast. And if you feel free to drop a like and comment and subscribe, all that good stuff, we would greatly appreciate it, as we appreciate all of you for joining us on this adventure.
Yeah, really decent showing here for a game we weren't supposed to be broadcasting, and that this had so much rain going on. But Yuma Tongu coming up to bat here. Not had much success today, though, again, having a really good start to a season. As the first pitch from Koja comes up here, and he takes a huge swing and miss on a breaking ball inside for 0-1. Oh, my laptop just made a weird hissing sound at me.
My computer
too late.
My computer fan's been, whoa, hit well into left center field. It's deep. It's back. It is caught. Abe runs it down near the warning track.
Yeah, with the mist, it's actually hard for us to see where the ball is. I imagine it's actually pretty hard for the players too. I wonder if that had something to do with Abe missing that ball in the first inning, actually, because he seemed to have a pause there.
I think he just misjudged it and didn't get there fast enough. But maybe in the initial moment of trying to track it down, he didn't pick it up fast enough, and that could have something to do. Kudebayashi. Kudebayashi takes the ball outside. Jimbo, you're hitting extremely high percentage.
I'm figuring it out.
Maybe.
Better at coin flips.
With that luck, you should go to a casino.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm a skilled gambler.
Okay.
I don't have a gambling problem. I have a gambling solution, baby.
Is it to put it all on red?
No. He's got to put it all on black or yellow because the song. Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Oh. Yeah, I am actually an all-on-black kind of guy. As Kojo misses high outside for ball 3 here.
After dark, this is what you get.
Yeah. Well, we are way after dark here. Again, I'm shocked I'm still awake. I got jazzed up by how much fun we're having here. The 3-1 delivery is on the way as Abayashi hits it.
That's no, Tatsumi can't track it down. That's a double easily.
At least does that even go down that's got to go down as an error. I don't know what happened to him there.
No. It cannot be an error. He literally didn't touch the ball.
I mean, he just missed
misjudging it and not touching it. That doesn't mean it's an error. That was a solid hit.
That was a really well hit ball. But what happened here? It's like he was there. I guess maybe
he tried putting the glove up and he didn't get it. But he didn't actually touch the ball, so it shouldn't be scored as an error. That should be a two-bagger.
There you go. As Koja is now over 100 pitches here, going up against not Ryo Ota, somebody else.
Keita Nakagawa.
There you go.
Nakagawa, for what it's worth, has been super successful. He's 2 for 2, and he's driven in. He's driven in 2 runs already, and he had the stolen bases last time on.
Oh, I think the Japanese commentators might be pointing out about how the visibility is very hard for outfielders right now with all that rain and light.
Or something. We'll say it's that.
Let's just say it's that. It's fun.
Nakagawa is actually put out for the first time this game as Yukiya Ito throws over to first on a fielder's choice. And with that, there are 2 down.
2 down, but a man on second, so the Buffaloes do still have an opportunity here to extend their lead as the Rakuten faithful look
A little miserable.
Forlorn, let's say.
I mean, I would not enjoy sitting in weather that looks this bad. This is verging on what it was in the first inning when Koja had the trouble.
That's true. Yeah. So, but we'll see if he can get his way out here. As I believe it's Ukatsuki up at bat who hits that
Watsky hits it
well
into
out to
left
left field,
field.
and it will be collected by Abe easily there to bring an end to the inning. Koja manages to get out of that without giving up any runs, even though he did give up a good double there. As we head into the bottom of the fifth, Oryx Buffaloes are up 5-0 over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles.
I would love for them to show the scoreboard because I am curious. I think very firmly that it should be credited as a hit, but
I think it probably will be. I'm going to take a quick look at the scoreboard. Oh, man, yeah, it looks like that thick mist is rolling back in.
Yahoo has it as a hit. Thank you, Mike, for looking at that for us.
I only see one error on Rakuten, and that's got to be the Abe play in the first inning. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was definitely an error. Actually, I'm kind of surprised that I have a note in here about Miyagi having an issue with a ball from Murabayashi in the first inning, and thinking maybe that was not an error. Interesting. Speaking of Miyagi, he is warming up on the hill for going into the bottom of the fifth. Are we on already? Holy mackerel!
Just
Miyagi.
real quick,
Right.
the visibility's really low right now, and they just launched something that shot out smoke or fog into the air from one of the carts out in the outfield.
Yeah, no, I did see that cart rolling by. I don't know what they're doing.
They already can't see, and now
they're trying to make it harder for the opposing right fielder. That's what it is.
oh my god.
Yeah, just home field advantage stuff. I remember once I heard this radio show have an idea for a fun way
Wiping
to
down.
give home field advantage in baseball is every team should be allowed to put a body of water in their outfield, and you can choose how big it is, where is it clear, is it cloudy? Just have fun with it. Put a big muddy pond over on right field. Put a little just a little thing, just enough that if a ball ever goes into it, it's gone.
Just put a moat around home plate.
I like it. Well, that's terrific. That's outstanding.
All right. Here comes Yoshiaki Watanabe.
As Miyagi, that's his name, has the first pitch outside for strike number one. Breaking ball low and outside for ball number one.
Based on the graphic in the corner here, those were the same kind of pitch, and obviously one of them he just kind of let go a little bit later.
Now, what kind of pitch is that? His changeup? I think I've seen it attributed to his changeup.
No, the shape that they're showing goes for a slider.
Okay. As always, the red is the fastball, or the straight toe, I believe is how they say it.
You're absolutely right.
There you go.
Oh, foul tip.
I can't get the player names right, but I'll get the pitches right.
I mean, it's learning katakana versus remembering how to read kanji. Or seeing the back of their jerseys, right? I mean, one is much easier than the other.
Or just remembering Murabayashi versus Kurabayashi.
We'll be here all day if you're waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, it ain't happening. 1-2 delivery on the way as he pops that out way back behind home plate. Staying alive.
We have not had a vintage Abe at bat. He is going for broke on that impression right now. Here, Watanabe is.
Yeah, I don't think they've had. I think maybe the longest at bat we've had was about 8 pitches or so. Not too bad. We just had one excruciatingly long inning to start the game.
Yeah.
As he takes a huge swing and a miss there for strike number 3 as Miyagi picks up, I believe, his 3rd strikeout of the night.
That is his 4th.
Oh, look at him.
I think it's no mean feat that I was preparing as if like, well, who knows? I might end up having to call lead play-by-player, so I've been trying to take pretty good notes, way more than usual anyway. That's the 4th strikeout I have on record for Miyagi right now.
As Miyagi has a huge curveball there that Franco just fouls off to bring his count to 0-1. Franco, obviously, I think 0-1 so far today.
Yep,
Wow, yeah.
struck out his first time up.
Miyagi's only given up one hit so far, I think. Two, maybe?
As far
As
as I can tell.
wraps that up at first base to bring us to 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Shot in the dark. If that's where we're at in the game.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the 5th.
Miyagi kind of looks like my friend's husband. Weird person. I'm gonna send that clip to her later.
Like ground out to third for Hikaru Ota. And that ends a 3-up, 3-down inning for
Miyagi, who continues to cruise. Oh my goodness.
Realistically, how do you know he's not?
How do you know he's not married to your friend or whatever it was?
That's true. Yeah,
realistically,
he flies over to pitching games, and he comes over back to Canada to. I don't know what he does with his time.
Hey, if Miyagi is coming all the way over to Canada anyway, why don't the Blue Jays sign him? That would automatically make the rotation better.
Because he doesn't want to live in Toronto.
I mean, I can't think of too many people who do. Oh, wait, it's a pretty popular city. That's what you said? Never mind.
Yes, it's an enormously popular city.
What was I saying about Osaka? Do you think Osaka is small? I don't think Toronto is small. I know it's pretty large.
I wonder which is bigger. Everyone in chat, without looking it up, just guess. What's a bigger city, Toronto or Osaka by population? I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Toronto. I should look up population. Probably would help. 3 million. Okay.
Dish Net is in the chat. Thanks for joining us. I know there's a fancy title that Gabe always refers to you as, but I don't remember. We got some split opinions in the chat here. We got one saying Toronto.
And no, I looked it up. Toronto is just a little bit more populous, just a shade. That makes so close.
Well, I mean, Osaka is the second largest city in all of Japan. Toronto is the most populous city in all of Canada, but Toronto is like what, the fifth largest in North America, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that would. I mean, I don't know, but that sounds right. What would be ahead of Toronto? New York, LA,
Chicago, Houston, probably.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm surprised Miami's not bigger, but whatever. Toronto is a great place, honestly, Adam. As much as I'm from Montreal, and we have our whole
your rivalries there.
We have our whole little Boston, New York thing. Toronto, Montreal, Toronto is nice. It's just so expensive.
If anybody, Ottawa, Toronto should have a thing because capital.
No, Ottawa doesn't count. Ottawa.
All right, here's the nation's capital. Come on. Here's a recap. We had the bases loaded first inning.
Ottawa blows.
And Tatsuki Koja facing Yuma Tongu manages to walk in a run on that. That was a pretty long at bat, as I recall. And Keita Nakagawa comes up with ducks on the pond here. And he ends up getting a pitch he likes and taking it into left field, dropping that in for a 2-run single, which puts the Buffaloes up 3-0 at that point. Nakagawa has been pretty unstoppable this game, but Koja also had a rough first inning. We flash forward to the third inning where Koja is still on the mound, getting settled in a little bit more until Yutaro Sugimoto meets that high pitch and sends it out of here. That 2-run bomb made the score 5-0 Oryx, and Rao poses proudly in front of the dugout. Bottom of the fourth inning, Hiroya Miyagi is still cruising along. Toshiki Abe flips at the first pitch, sends it into right center field, and that ball just dies on the grass, but he can't make extra bases out of it. Later in the inning comes Hideto Asamura, who makes it very easy grounder to the second baseman, Ryo Ota. Easy flip to second for the out and the end of the inning, and the biggest threat they've had thus far. Top of the fifth now, Kotaro Kurebayashi with a double, and Keita Nakagawa almost got it. No, excuse me, that was Kenny Wakatsuki. Flies out to Toshiki Abe, and despite the double from Kurebayashi, they managed to get out of that inning without any runs scored. And that takes you to where we are now. Halfway through this game, it is 5-0 Buffaloes. You see some fans are wandering around the concourse, probably trying to get some refreshments, get some stretch break in. And stretch break is what's going on with our lovely friend Jimbo. If you want to look at the bottom of the out-of-town scoreboard update, the Lions still leading the Fighters. It's the bottom of the fourth now. And in the other league, 2 of the games ended up getting canceled, as well as the game we were supposed to be streaming, the Marines hosting the Hawks. Fun little fact, we always see the car Mazda spelled with a D, but apparently the katakana suggests that it should have like the TSU. Kind of weird. And we have a new pitcher on. We have a new pitcher on for Tohoku, finally changing it up, and Koja finishes his day giving up the 5 earned runs. And, aside from one really bad inning, pretty good start. This is Masaya Nishigaki. I'll see if I can find anything on his pitch mix. He's appeared in 3 games thus far and an ERA of 1.69 on the young season. Final line for Koja, shortly over 100 pitches, 5 total innings, so managed to strike out 2 with 1 walk. Obviously did give up quite a few runs, most of them earned, I believe. The 2-run homer to Yutaro Sugimoto, most notably among them. And Nishigaki has this weird thing where he kind of extends his glove back. You wonder why. You wonder why he does that, because you think it'd be better for his right arm, the arm holding the baseball, not to. Anyway, Mike, what do you got about Nishigaki's arsenal here?
So for Nishigaki, he's predominantly a fastball pitcher. I'm not able to find his max velocity as of right now, but it looks like last year it was around 95 miles per hour. He throws the fastball 57% of the time. He also has a forkball that he'll mix in for the strikeout. He throws a cutter, a slider, and of course, being a Japanese pitcher, he throws a shudo, but it looks like he's mainly the fastball and then the forkball for the strikeout.
And the first hitter he will face is Shuhei Fukuda, up for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 2 thus far today. Struck out looking, and a ground out to the shortstop, Murabayashi. He takes strike 1. Yeah, it's almost like he's like shot putting something. It's weird. Anyway, that breaking ball drops in there. That was his fork ball, according to the graphic at the bottom lower left here. And it was in the K zone as per that graphic, but was not called by the umpire. 1-1 count. Swings and fouls that off into the expensive seats. Or no, the exciting seats, excuse me. The expensive seats are probably a little different. And getting some extra grip on his hand there. I imagine, yeah, you can tell it's still raining pretty steadily here in Miyagi. And the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt, bounces in front of Fukuda, and that goes to a 2-2 count. Fukuda, for his part, hasn't done much in this game. In fact, both of the previous times he's come up, he's actually ended the inning. Kind of ignominious fate. That was another forkball. Both of his forkballs have missed. And that is fouled off deep into the right field seats along the first, well, not the right field seats, along the first baseline.
With that forkball missing, I was reading just now that there was an interview with him following spring training, and one of the things he was hoping to work on during the season was actually that command and the control of the forkball.
Well, safe to say it's a work in progress. Partly the weather, too. That's in there, but fouled off. And Fukuda is keeping this at-bat alive. I mean, this is already like the fourth pitch he's thrown with 2 strikes in the count. Two and two. Nishigaki comes set. Called strike 3, and Fukuda goes down looking again. First strikeout for Nishigaki on the young day for him. That was a really well-placed pitch. A little bit of a split finger grip there. I don't know if that was his forkball, but if it was, then he definitely is going to like that. Now that he's wrapping around to the top of the order, here comes Yuma Mune again. The second lefty in a row that Nishigaki gets to face. Ooh, that was a little bit behind him, just a bit outside. Or maybe inside specifically. Mune in this particular game has not been very successful. He grounded out, struck out, he grounded out and flied out twice. That was supposedly his... Oh, I can't read that katakana. It's so small. Unless I blow up the screen. Oh, his cut ball, they call it. Okay. That was his fastball. It was up in the zone according to K-Zone, but not called a strike. It is now 2-0. That's right down the heart of the plate. And even if Mune didn't swing, that was definitely a strike. 150 kilometers per hour, by the way, actually is about 94 in freedom units. I just did that conversion. So good call, Mike. That is a little up and away for ball 3. And very quickly, we might see Mune finally getting somewhere in this particular game. He's kind of had nothing. Like, he's not had many plays to him. He hasn't done much at the plate. We'll see if he can do it here. That, almost the exact same spot as the other strike, and then count goes full.
It makes you wonder, what is Mune actually, what is he looking for? Because he's watched, 2 fastballs pretty much right down the middle, just go past them?
Yeah, hitters tend to look for specific things, and if they don't find them, then they kind of get locked up. 3-2 again, swings through and misses. That's strike 3, and Nishigaki is struck out 2.
It's got to be tough when you're struggling like Mune has been on the season, especially in a game where pretty much the entire rest of your lineup has pretty much gone off.
If you're familiar with the phrase hitting is contagious, Mike, the idea that everybody's hitting and so they're more excited for you to get in, you're like, all right, I can do this, and you almost rising tide raises all boats confidence. Third batter of the inning is Ryo Ota, and immediately fouls off the first pitch that he sees. Ota, for his part, has a walk, ground out, and a strikeout. Nishigaki comes set on the 0-1, and that's just a bit inside. One of the fastest pitches we've seen him throw, 149 on the radar gun there. And you'd hope it'd back somebody off the plate if they're hugging too close to the plate. I don't think Ota's that close to the plate. You can see a solid amount of distance between the batter's box where he's standing in it and the plate. And fouls that off of Ota, not himself, the catcher, Hikaru Ota. As far as I know, no relation. And I have no way to fact check that. I bet most of you in the comments probably could help or just don't care. But if you know, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, especially when these at-bats go by way too fast for me to actually
come up with
anything.
their profiles or anything. Yeah. Ooh, he tried, and Dio Ota almost bit on that, but it does go to 2-2. It would be a huge coup for Rakuten right here if he could strike out the side, 3 up, 3 down. That's hit on the ground and past the third baseman Ito into left field. He gently rounds first and decides to settle for a single.
And I believe around here we just call that the podcast jinx. That hit in mere seconds after
I said he hadn't done anything. You're right. Well, I mean, he did walk, so it's not like he hasn't been on base. This is his second time on base today. Trying to remember if he scored in the first inning outburst. I think he did, but I don't have a note about that. Oh, he must have, because there was doubles right after him. Speaking of which, that double, Ryoma Nishikawa has 2 doubles to left on his day so far and has improved his average to 370. That'll make anybody dance. Also, nice pat on the back to make sure he didn't fall over. Nice touch. Oh, wow, that was actually a pun. Never mind. Ball is quickly 1-0. Let it not be said that it is not late here, too, although I have yet to cross over into the date this game is happening in Japan. Mike, on the other hand, yeah, you're approaching 2 a.m. How are you feeling over there, buddy?
I'm surviving on a Monster Rehab and Spite at this point.
Rehab is the name of the flavor. Okay. I had to track because I don't usually do energy drinks. That swung on and fouled off. You'd think the way he stepped away from that swing, he either like hurt something or fouled it off himself, but I didn't see it hit his foot.
The Rehab line's kind of like, it's just like a tea with like the B12 in it that all the other like energy drinks have, but doesn't have like the rest of the stuff that
make it terrible for you. Yeah,
makes it terrible. And my face hurts when I drink the regular ones. So
wow, buzz. 1-1 count now on Nishikawa. And swung, hit into left center field, both racing over. Toshiki Abe makes the catch. And that will end the inning.
Abe having a pretty active day, both at the plate and in the outfield.
Yeah, no, he's definitely making a lot of plays out there. The balls are kind of going to die to him.
Including the chat, J-Dog is in PA. So am I, J-Dog. Glad to know you're possibly within throwing distance of me.
Throwing distance. Ha.
Outside my house right now.
I didn't say that. Yeah, no, I am definitely not in Pennsylvania. But I keep thinking that it'd be really fun for the podcast crew here to meet up and do games. I mean, we've got Toronto, we've got Philadelphia, we've got Colorado.
I have been planning to go to Canada.
Wow. Not even saying where I'm from. The disrespect.
Oh, hey, there's no baseball team in Montreal. Let's be going to Canadians game.
I haven't planned to go to Canada. It's just I want to go when the Flyers are in Canada, and their games in Canada never match up with
availability
when it makes sense for me to go. Pretty much.
Yeah. No, there was a friend of mine who was doing a family reunion thing near me, and he messaged me just earlier today. He's like, "So you're in this area, right?" And I said, "Not quite." And he's like, "Well, we had this thing in that area, and I was thinking if I had more time, I would call you." And it's like, "Sorry, I was particularly busy this weekend anyway. I mean, I was expecting the broadcast and whatnot." He's like, "Yeah, being an adult means last minute plans don't exactly work."
Yeah, that's valid. Last minute plans both don't work and are like the only way you'll ever see anybody. Let's
be real. Plans don't work in general. You can plan something for a year straight and then it just gets canned in one day.
Mm-hmm. Or, last minute changes are very possible. Hiroya Miyagi throws the first pitch to Hiroto Kobukata well outside. It is 1-0. Kobukata thus far has a fly out to left, but this is only his second plate appearance of the game. Tells you how Miyagi's been doing.
Yeah, Miyagi's just mowing through the Eagles here as he takes a beautiful breaking ball in there for strike number 1. Ooh, J-Dog updating us. Apparently the lighters are lighters.
The lighters. The
Lighters
fighters.
5-1 now.
The Ligers.
That sounds like a B League team, the Lighters.
No, it's probably a minor league promotion somewhere waiting to happen. Hit on the ground to Yumatongu, and it's called caught in the air. So that'll be a line out to first base. He did run it over to tap the bag just in case.
So when you mentioned going to PA, I was there once, and I was accosted by a man on the street for being Canadian who was very aggressive to me.
That was
Wow.
probably me, not gonna lie. No matter where in PA you were, it was probably me. Just
It,
saying, I'm
it
lying.
was outside
also-
Philadelphia, to be completely
I have also
fair.
been to PA, specifically Philadelphia once. This is Yukiya Ito takes strike one.
It's not like the state has anywhere else to go.
I mean, there is Pittsburgh.
No, there's not.
I would love
No,
to
there's
go
not.
to PNC Park, honestly. That looks so beautiful.
Yeah, but then you have to watch the. Never mind.
I mean, if I'm going there to watch a different team, does it matter?
I would rather go see the Pirates play than the Phillies, to be fair.
Yeah, you're just lying.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I really thought that through, and I was like, yeah, I'm not telling the truth, am I?
Oh boy. This is what happens when we don't have Gabe to, gather us all together.
Oh,
We
yeah,
miss
no,
you, Gabe.
is
Enjoy the replay.
Gabe's the adult in the room.
Hey, I can be the adult in the room if I have to. It's 1 and 2.
I disagree. 1-2 on the way as he grounds it to Yumatongu. I've got so spooked by the Murabiyashi thing, I thought Yumatongu was...
What? That
I
is
just- I
credited
had this
as an
brief
error
moment of,
on
It's an
Tongu.
infielder. It might be Kurabayashi. I don't know. Oh, man. We're having fun.
We try. So Tongu tries to go to the covering Miyagi and just airmails it. And they have a base runner
Wait,
for,
oh,
the
he ends
first
up on
time,
both.
for the first time since the fourth inning. I guess that wasn't that long ago, but feels like an eternity.
Yeah, the Eagles offense hasn't been getting much going on here.
Murabayashi now.
I was going to try, and I was going to be wrong.
Something about winning coin flips. Place it on black, and of course he's wearing a red jersey. You were hosed from the start.
And so he fouls that off over to the left side, bringing the count to 0-2. Still a nice swing there. Still giving it the good old college try. Speaking of college, finals week. Anyone else in the chat struggling through finals right now? I should be working on a paper. 0-2 delivery on the way. Murabayashi hits it over to the shortstop. Murabayashi foots. I'm the craziest man alive. I actually just did that. That's amazing. That's incredible.
So Kurebayashi, fielder's choice, gets the
I
out
just
second
said
on
Derek Jeter hit it
Murabayashi's
to
save.
Derek Jeter. I'm great. I am the smartest man alive.
So here's a topic conversation for you guys. So Miyagi's been very successful and has clearly taken over as the ace of Oryx. And with his success and just how good of a pitcher he is and the way Yamamoto left, if you're an Oryx fan, are you kind of getting worried about that?
I mean, we should ask our resident Oryx fan, but he's
Yeah,
not
I was
here.
like, yeah.
Just put
Tatsumi
one in
fouls
your
off
feed,
the
though.
first offering from Miyagi. 0-1.
I'm sure some of our wonderful people in chat are Oryx fans.
That is true. That is true. Sorry, I thought you were specifically directing that question at like Jimbo and I. And I'm like,
Just anybody in the room.
Just
Really.
asking
All
it to
right,
Gabe,
all right.
who's just like
That's
not
fair.
here.
And that's outside for ball one. Miyagi's starting to get up there in pitch count. I mean, he's already at 77. Now, he's definitely gone a lot deeper into this game than his counterpart, Tatsuki Koja, but bottom of the sixth, seeing a little more traffic than normal. We'll see if he can get over this hurdle here. And that is fouled off deep into the stands, but it got to get over the net first. The way they were framing that, it almost looked like Moon had caught it, which would have been amazing.
I was like, wait, did he make that?
Wait, what? Is it just at the top of the railing thing there? Wow. Anyway, foul ball, strike 2.
1-2 delivery on the way here with a man on first and 2 away as
check
he
swing.
Checkest swing of all time that resulted in a foul.
I mean, hey, defensive swings are still swings.
I don't even know if that was barely a
That's amazing. Wow. That is the slow moment that ever epic right there. That was great.
1-2 on the way. He just does a soft chopper over to second. He flips it over to first, and that'll end the inning. Buffalo's still ahead here going into the top of the 7th. Let's enter the 7th inning stretch. Buffaloes are up 5-0.
I would say it's time for the Lucky 7, but we won't be able to hear it. So if you know the lyrics and you're willing to sing them at home by yourself, you are encouraged to do so. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and get a little sip of water here, and we'll be back in just a little bit.
And this is normally the part where we just let the music play. Da 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 da. Starts song and dance, jumping around. I'm so tempted to make up a song or sing something, but I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to ward people off. Let's just look at how much fun the fans are having. Except that one guy. That one guy's not having a good time right now. My goodness.
Always a fan of the Ponta little Tanuki plushies, the little orange.
Yeah, those are super cute.
I think one of the fans right there had one of the Valentine's Day cheer towels. So I think oh god, you remember? Did I do that game with you where they I think it was with you, yeah, where they had like a little pose thing would pop up on the screen, and they would pick like
yes. Yeah, I was just that was absolutely me.
Oh, they should do that again.
That'd be fun.
But like, have the Lions do it with like Takei Nakamura instead. Don't even do like the hair and makeup and anything. Just have him.
Actually, they should do it again with the Hawks, but it's only Yuki Nagito. They never changed the player.
That might actually be more successful.
This is Ehara. I'm getting
there. We go. You got it.
Masahiro Ehara.
I think I saw he's made four appearances so far this year and 0 ERA. Doesn't get much better than that. Imagine having a negative ERA. Like, you're so good you erase runs off the board.
That's not how baseball works, but it
incredible. The best pitcher there ever was. 4D pitching.
4D pitching. I'm just removing runs from the board.
Multi-track drifting, 4D pitching. We got it all.
Multi-track drifting? What did I miss?
You know about multi-track drifting. Hold up now. I know everyone in the chat knows about multi-track drifting. I'm not crazy. Maybe I am. If I'm the only person who knows about this, I am crazy. Sugimoto coming up to bat here. Had that big home run in I think it was the 3rd inning. Been a bit quiet other than that. And let's see what we got here as the first delivery comes along the way. Oh my goodness, he skies the... Okay, no, I got way too he did get the hit. See, that's why you can't get too excited, but he did get the hit. I'm gonna lie, that looked like another home run, didn't it?
I mean, the swing was good, that's for sure. Mike, I think you've got the report about what Ehara's mix is.
All right, so he's a 4-pitch pitcher. He has a fastball, which he throws 70% of the time. And it looks like his average on that is around 94, 95 miles per hour. And then the rest of his pitches, he just, other than a cutter that he throws 20% of the time, his curveball and his forkball, he doesn't really use that much. But opponents are batting 182 against his fastball, but they're batting 667 against his cutter.
Sounds like he should scrap the cutter. That's
Something
just me.
interesting about the Rakuten bullpen I find is that, generally speaking, obviously in Japan, there's the velocity is lower in the U.S. But Rakuten's got a fair few guys who hit those mid upper 90s coming out of the bullpen.
I think the team that probably does that more than the Eagles is the Fighters. They've got a couple of arms that are capable of touching 100. I think, generally speaking, that the training has improved to such a degree that you're getting slightly more of that now.
One thing I find interesting with it is sometimes with the starters, if they have to play pitch in relief like a playoff performance,
that was a looping
nice.
curve.
That was pretty nice, but they'll throw like 92, 93 during the season, and then at the end of the year, they're throwing like 96, 97. I think Yamamoto even got it up to 99 at a couple points. Senga threw 100 just randomly. So it's like they can get it up there. It's just most of the time they just, choose not to, which I'm all for.
And here's the thing about the Japanese throwers are taught from a young age. That was another beautiful curveball. 2-2 the count. But like, the thing about Japanese throwers is that they have it so ingrained that control is better than max effort, max velo. And because of that, you don't see nearly as many injuries because they aren't just throwing that was a broken bat.
There's an injury.
You got to go get some new lumber now for Yuma Tongu there. Anyway, if it's max velo every single pitch, of course your arm is not built for that naturally, and so it's going to cause problems. That was a really interesting break, actually.
Yeah, I was seeing a video, I think just yesterday or the other day, about Yoshinobu Yamamoto's last start. He had like a bunch of sinkers that went to the exact same spot. You just got that pinpoint laser accuracy control. He doesn't throw as hard as some other pitchers, but you look at guys like Greg Maddux, right? Like, sometimes just control and breaking stuff can lead you to a Hall of Fame career.
Absolutely. Tongu dives out of the way of that one. Count is full. And we still have Sugimoto on first base. This would be a great opportunity for Tongu to do some damage here.
I want to see him go back to that breaking ball. That curveball was nasty.
That curveball was just gorgeous to watch.
Yeah. I think you might be worried about getting away with it a third time, but let's see if he does it here on the full count delivery.
Yeah, it was definitely not
blowing outside. That leads to a walk as we got 2 on here in the top of the 7th. Catcher's coming out to him and be like, "Hey, buddy, you want to throw that curveball more, maybe?"
It just looks like a video game, just like really dropped in there. They can't animate them that pretty, man. So once again, the Buffaloes are threatening here, this time off a different pitcher.
And J-Dog giving us a quick little out-of-town update. The Lions are really getting ahead of the Fighters now, 7-1. So
love it.
The Lions are paying better than last season.
Love it. Well, tempted
to say Murabayashi was at bat, even though I knew. I was just going for the joke there.
This guy never learns. Fastball challenges him right down the heart of the plate. Strike 1. But yeah, no, early on, it was looking like the Fighters could do a repeat of what the Marines did to the Lions last year, where they won like the first 20 games of the season series or something stupid like that.
Oh, that was brutal. Oh my god.
It was brutal. And it was looking, early on, because they were up 4-0 in the series, but Seibu's clawing back. And I would love to see them like get to 500, even if it's early, because it means that they're at 500, which is better than what they did last year.
Yeah, last year I think they spent the whole season below 500. It was the worst season in Seibu history as far as.
Meanwhile, the SoftBank Hawks last year spent all of the season above 500, and this year they fell below that. Oh, immediately it was great.
But
just for difference,
they were doing good.
They have been doing good. Well, I mean, you knew SoftBank was going to figure it out. Obviously, they got revenge against the Marines. winning
It's
both
funny,
of their
baseball
games.
do that to you. Where first week of the season, I was like, "Oh my god, it's the end of SoftBank. They have nothing. It's over." And now this week, I'm like, "We're back, baby! Best team in the league."
Overreaction City. Yes,
Yeah,
my
that's
name
great.
is Jimbo, or Montreal specifically, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Inside ball.
we
Inside
do
ball
do
one.
that.
Well, I mean, if you take your sports seriously, you're overreacting to small sample sizes all the time.
Yep, the upper doodles.
The
So
1-2 pitch from
1-2
Ehara
count
here.
here with the man on first and second, none away at the top of the 7th inning here. As that beautiful curveball again, man, you got to bust that out more, my boy, as he picks up a strikeout there. One of the few strikeouts I feel like the Eagles have gotten on the Buffaloes all game.
Let's see. I think total I have 5 on their ledger here.
Woof.
Yep, 5.
Not even in the same zip code with that swing.
He must have been looking fastball up.
Yeah, to say the least.
Keita Nakagawa has been doing great this game. He was put out last time, but that was the first time he'd been put out all game, which is good for the old batting average. Hello, operator. That's a body there, not your target.
I looked away for a moment. I didn't see how bad that pitch was, but it sounded pretty bad from your commentary.
I mean, let's just say that it was much closer to his thigh than it was to the zone.
There you go. Maybe they'll show me the graphic. Yeah, well, that's what that looks like. 1-0 delivery on the way here, as it's a looping curveball that pops straight up into right field.
Watanabe runs in to make the grab. This is probably the second best defensive play that we've seen in this game. Well, maybe the third. Maybe Abe tracking down that fly ball in the gap was pretty good.
I don't know if you saw his face there for a moment. He looked like he couldn't believe he made that. Man, love that curveball. That's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. That high effort play from Watanabe, though. Just in case, maybe it'll happen. Hello, future Gabe. It could. I mean, it's dreary conditions, max effort to get to that ball. Nice sliding catch in a critical spot in the game. Here's Kenya Wakatsuki, and he is 2 for 3.
And I saw in the chat Gordo saying he's late. You kind of were and you weren't, because we were supposed to start at 1. We started at midnight. So, yeah, we are much further along than we intended to be at this point. But yeah, glad to have you here and glad to have everyone else here.
We're a little over 2 hours into this broadcast, which was supposed to be a little over 1 hour into a completely different game that got canceled by rain.
And yeah, Gordo, no audio for this one. We've been having some technical issues on that, but worse things have happened. We're having a lot of fun here today.
Hey, and
you can always go back
you're
and watch
enjoying our audio.
Broadcast. I think there's a lot of laughs to be had, honestly.
Especially when we get to podcast after dark territory, which we have been in for this whole game.
First inning was brutal. We just ran with it.
we just kind of roll with the punches there. Big spot for Wakatsuki, who already does have a run batted in this game.
The 1-1 delivery comes. Wavy inside there for ball number 2.
I didn't realize they were into wiping the belt of all the rain, but that's about what that pitch did.
Yeah, you can see here the rain is it's not let up all game, but they're still playing on.
Well,
and, doing what they can.
It did lighten up a little in the second and third innings, but it's been steady the whole time. It has not been pretty in that respect. That's a beautiful pitch, though. All he could do is foul it off.
Come on, curveball. I'm banking on that curveball. I just like to see it.
I think if he bangs on that curveball and Wakatsuki's not looking for it, that's going to be strike 3.
Now Wakatsuki might be looking for it.
That's the thing.
He is one of the better defensive catchers in the league, so he's probably got a good eye for
the idea of sequencing pitches is familiar to him because he's calling games behind the dish.
Exactly. 2-2 delivery here. Again, there's a man on first and second. And
swing and a miss. Humongous strikeout. Humongous strikeout of Kenya Wakatsuki to strand 2. No runs across. 2 strikeouts for Rehata, both swinging. And despite a walk and a hit, nobody crosses the plate. That
Mejata
is
keeps
not a
that
clean job, but a
ERA
good
in
one.
check. So definitely having a great start to his season out of the bullpen so far.
Hey, guess what? If you're ready to sing the Lucky 7 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, the lyrics in, well, Japanese are on the screen now. I am sorry, I cannot help you because I don't know the tune.
I like that watermelon guy. That guy's cool.
I like how the kids have different colored raincoats. At least that's kind of nice. Also, sorry for if there's a little bit of lag. There's a little bit of lag on our end. So, let's do it all back to speed very quickly. I love that. That part's always the best when it's like, oh, look at all this stuff you missed. Let me race through it faster for you. Hey, some rally towels for Rui Muneyama there. Yuya Ogo, both out of this game for the moment.
Does every team do the balloon thing, or is it just certain teams?
No, there are certain teams that do the jet balloons. I honestly wasn't aware that Rakuten was one of them. Again, with the hospital being close by, you'd think that would be a whole lot of noise, and there's a reason they don't allow trumpets for their cheering section or for the away cheering section at this park. So I don't know if it's sensible. It's kind of like almost contradictory in my brain, but I suppose jet balloons, even collectively, will make a whole lot less noise than a full-on brass section in the cheering stands. And here is the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, favorite player of the Pacific League TV English crew, Toshiki Abe himself.
The man, the myth, the legend.
If he hits a home run on one of our broadcasts, I will buy his jersey. I'll just accept it.
I mean, he's putting the gauntlet out there for you, Toshiki. Better hit it out. He does have 1 home run on the season already. Miyagi coming out for the 7th inning of work. He's at merely 81 pitches after that, offering quickly. It is 0-1. We have a couple of substitutions on defense. Oshido is now at second base, and I did not look fast enough to see who was taking over at first. But who was that? I hope to find out very shortly.
Ooh, that's beautiful breaking ball there by Miyagi.
Well, I mean, the book on Miyagi, basically until last year, was that he was a crafty guy. Doesn't blow you away with velocity, but his breaking stuff is just excellent, like next level. In this case, he's showing the breaking stuff pretty well. But last year he added more fastball. He added some speed to the top end and started using that too. 1-2 count now. And swung on, hit in the air. It is in shallow center field. Kurebayashi's going back and calling everybody off. Makes the catch. A pop out to the shortstop is the end of that at bat for Toshiki Abe. I believe Ota then moved to first base. I think I saw enough of the camera angle to get that idea. We'll see if that's right when I get a bit more confirmation. Here's Hideto Asamura, who has done very little in his 2 trips to the plate thus far, grounded out twice. Mike is confirming backstage that is Ryo Ota at first. Thank you very much, Mike.
So you figure they're going for a much more defensive alignment here just to ensure.
Well, possibly that, but also Oshido just getting him off the bench and getting him on his feet and giving Tongu some time. That ball is inside. 1-1 count now.
I figure they'll probably let Miyagi go the full 9 if he doesn't give up any runs soon.
Well, I mean, if he's doing that well, you'd think that he'd stay on the whole game because Miyagi is definitely the workhorse type. He wants the ball in his hand. If it's his start, he wants to save the bullpen. And you know what? It's one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, let your guy go, right? Oh, as he gives a little
dripped into center field for a hit.
Actually, it might be a blue double. Asamura hoofing it around the thing and makes it down to second. Around first.
Around the thing. Yes, it is a thing, but
first base is a thing.
It's called a base. It's called a base. That's where you're going. All right.
Of course, typical curse of the commentator here at the Pacific League, where it's like, oh, maybe he'll make it
The midnight,
through
the midnight matinee, the midnight matinee curse.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we actually started at midnight. It could be worse. We could be like at the third one right now.
Oh my goodness! Oh, don't even joke about that. Yeah, my body just quivered like, oh, ugh.
Your body just quivered involuntarily.
Yeah,
well, I'm sorry for giving you the
put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
All right, Yoshiaki Watanabe comes to the plate now with a runner on second. I hate to say it, but I think this is the best chance the Eagles have had this entire game.
It actually kind of looks like the rain's even letting up a bit. Maybe it'd be crazy if we're about to just like a wild comeback here.
It would be a wild comeback if they make it. But this is Miyagi. You don't think he'd be out on the mound long enough to let that happen, or that he wouldn't stay on while it's happening. It does definitely look like the rain is letting up quite a bit by comparison to the gray mist over the field. That's fouled off towards the left side, and the count is even.
Heck, when the game started, it just looked like smoke. Like it's like the field was covered.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I think we've played enough of this game that even if the game is called off on account of rain, that it will go in as a complete game. See also the New York Yankees, San Francisco Giants the other day, where they had played 6 innings and they just called it, and it was a game for both of their records rather than trying to postpone the finish of it or whatever. 1-2 count now to Yoshiaki Watanabe. Watanabe, for his parts, has not been very successful. He struck out looking his first time up and struck out swinging his second time up. Miyagi's had his number all game.
Man, he has got an active...
Yeah, no, he's batting. This is, it's not Nomar Garcia-Parra's thing, but that definitely gives me the same kind of vibes. There's always a between pitch routine. Maybe Juan Soto is a fair comparison in that respect.
In that respect, sure. There's a player over with the Bay Stars, was a rookie last year. He's got a whole kabuki thing going on. He has a crazy pose before he takes the bat.
Well, it is the other league, so I haven't been able to see any of it. I'm guessing when you say rookie, that's Ryuki Watarai, but I don't know.
I think that was his name, yeah. Yeah, we try not to mention the other league, just came to mind because of what we're talking about. As he fouls it off again, doing his best Abe impersonation here late in the game.
He's been doing some good Abe impersonations. It just hasn't resulted in any success. He's struck out both times. We'll see if another double by a good hitter will go wasted, because we had the one from Kurebayashi of the Buffaloes earlier that he got the double and nothing happened. But there's still 2 outs to give in this inning. Miyagi all the way up to 95 pitches. It felt like not very long ago he was just eclipsing 80. So this is going to be... Miyagi's
hair is immaculate. It's always perfectly framed.
The hair? Yeah, no, I'm sure he does a very good care job for it. I don't know, and frankly, if my hair was that long, I'd want to shave it off 3 months before it got there.
Got that major brush fade. I love it.
2-2. Did he go? Appeals to third base. And we can't see the third base umpire, but I guess he was called a strike.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see on the replay there, but that doesn't look like a swing.
Yeah, I think he held up, but they did appeal it, so this is a really good angle. We'll see right here. He did break the plane. He did break
by the margins. That's fair.
So that is strikeout. That's strikeout number 3 for Watanabe just today, and a total of 5 now for Hiroya Miyagi himself. Michael Franco struck out once and grounded out to first his last time up.
Always a weird bit of trivia I'll always remember with Franco. He's the first person to hit a home run at Escon Field in Hokkaido.
Well, that'll be something that never can be taken away from him.
That's true. Or me.
Well, trivia heads unite.
0-1 delivery on the way here to Franco with a man on second with 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. If the Eagles want any hope of making a comeback here, it's probably going to happen right now, to be totally fair.
Well, and Franco was definitely swinging like he wanted that 2-run homer
Yeah,
on both of those swings.
Brutal hack at a breaking ball low and outside for strike 2.
That is a changeup. Everyone's waiting for a home run is that banner, by the way.
Well, they're right.
Yeah, especially with this offense. They could sure use about 5 of them. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Delivery is on the way here for Franco. And it's I think another changeup low and outside for ball number 1.
Yep, he's definitely trying to slow it up here. But the next pitch that Hiroya Miyagi throws will be his 100th for the day.
Line, I think Koja broke in the 2nd or 3rd inning.
No.
I think so. Right, 1-2 delivery on the way here. As is Miyagi going to go for that changeup low and outside again? He does. He really wants that pitch. Because to be fair, I'm pretty sure that's what got Franco out both times up the last time through the lineup.
I don't specifically remember. He did end up grounding out to then Yuma Tongu at first base. Now, Tongu is not in the game at this point. It's Ryo Ota has moved over.
2-2 on the way here. Franco looking to get that run in at the 2nd as Miyagi's 101st pitch is fouled off yet again.
Well, Franco's doing his best Aretha Franklin impression. Staying alive, staying alive. No, that wasn't Aretha.
I
that
thought
was not Aretha.
Abe and Franklin mixed up, and I was like, what?
Abe and Franklin?
That's why I was like, who? Aretha Franklin. I'm like, we were talking about Abe. Okay, we said Aretha Franklin. I'm like, I don't know that player. Who that is?
You know who Aretha Franklin is now that you know that I'm actually talking about that. I'm misquoting it very bad. All right, that's inside. Very, very, very close call, but it is ball 3. Franco is a great hitter if he gets a pitch in the center of the center cut. He's really good at hitting those. This is from Mike, by the way, chiming in backstage for us. Thank you for keeping involved in the broadcast here, buddy. But everywhere else, he's cold. So you wonder why Miyagi's nibbling at the edges. That's why.
Aretha Franco.
Abraham Franco. Short go. Abe Franco.
Wow. We're just getting out there now.
Hey, I'm past midnight finally too, so
full count pitch here on the way.
He walks him. That's the first
definite walk there with the way outside as Franco will take first base with his first on base of the game so far.
Wait, what's this going on? Oh, it's the first base coach handing him his glove, maybe. Also, we start to get to a little rosin devil status there with all of the puff off of that ball when you saw it leave his hand in slow motion. Franco's happy about that walk. Working a walk here is pretty good. It pays to be patient.
Like you said,
confab on the mound.
Keeps them alive.
Confab on the mound. It looks like Miyagi is trying to clean off his cleats. This is the greatest part about uncut, no ads, no commercial breaks. We get to fill a lot of time and stuff that isn't normally seen on highlight packages.
And speaking of commercial breaks, there he is.
Speaking of commercial breaks, here is Daichi Suzuki pinch hitting for Hikaru Ota. Suzuki on the young season is only 5 for 20. This is a really big spot with 2 runners on at this point in the game, and he's been kind of on the bench all game. So it's going to be fascinating to see what happens here. Miyagi is probably going to be done after this inning, if I have my guess. That pitch is probably about where the one that was inside to Franco was that wasn't called a strike, but that one was called a strike.
Yeah, pretty close.
Big spot. Fans are getting excited. Nice to see everybody soldiering out and still watching the game through the rain. That's ball 1. Not very far off of where the first pitch was thrown.
So one of the things about baseballs and umpiring is that like sometimes the pitch is exactly the same and it gets called different.
Angel Hernandez made it an art form.
Well, that's worse.
That is skied into center field, running after it, and making the catch is Fukuda to end the threat, and Daichi Suzuki wanted that swing back.
Rolling around here to the top of the 8th, the Buffaloes are still up 5-0. And as Mike mentioned, it's great to have a lot of uncut, no commercial broadcast going on here. And if you want more of that, you can check out PLTV. Go to pacificleague.com and check out what we have going on there. For $15 a month or about 1,500 yen, you get all the games in the Pacific League, all the games in the farm leagues, all uncut. You go back and watch archive games and old games. It's a great service to keep up to date with Pacific League action, and check out the podcast on this very channel for your weekly updates on English news.
On the PLTV stuff, you will not get English commentary unless you're seeing it here. So thank you very much for joining us wherever you are. I know we have a couple people checking from the States, from Canada, from other countries as well. And we appreciate all of you for showing up. And thanks for hanging with us. This patchwork broadcast is somehow getting along, and we're all the way into the top of the 8th inning.
As are we going to have another pitching change here?
It does seem that way. Getting my notes out here to see if I can get ahead of who's pitching next. All right, let's see if we can get any. Well, I suppose I should trust Sports Navi. Yahoo is saying that it's still Ehara. I mean, he had a pretty effective first inning of work, so not too terribly surprising. This is the pitch that Miyagi gave up to Suzuki, where he had a really good swing on it, but just got underneath it, and he knew immediately that was not going to work. The best chance, the latest, greatest chance for these Rakuten Golden Eagles to get off the shutout just passed them by. We'll see if they have another inning in them to make it better. It is now Ren Kajiya taking the mound.
And I'll work on getting his mix for you.
All right, thank you much. He's appeared in 2 games this season. He has not allowed an earned run, and so his ERA is 0. I'm sure he would love to keep that up, if only because that would make the lead more difficult to get back to. His first pitch is looped in there for a strike. The pinch hitter is, Jonathan Diaz? No, that's not the right first name. Jordan Diaz. There we go. Diaz will call time. He is substituting him. Horiuchi is now behind the plate as well, relieving Ota, who was pinch hit for in the last inning. And Diaz will take a ball inside. The count is 1-1. Diaz, I believe, did make a little bit of made some appearances in MLB, if I recall. Swings over the top of that one. That was nasty down in the dirt.
So for Kajiya, he's a bit of an interesting pitcher. His primary pitch is actually not a fastball. It's his cutter, which he throws 40% of the time, followed by his fastball at 30% of the time. And his forkball is a strikeout pitch where he's gotten 99% of his strikeouts so far this season on the forkball.
1-2 pitch. Fouled. Showing some highlights of previous game where Diaz ropes it into left field and gets an RBI on the double. It's kind of hard to tell on the way that camera is framed, that's for sure.
I think that was a spring training game.
Well, I mean, it was at Rakumo, so I'm thinking it was like yesterday or. because I don't think they play in the regular parks during spring training. They usually go more towards the southeast.
Near the end of it, they will, but just the way the lighting was and the seating looked kind of off to me. But I'm probably just losing it.
Well, it was definitely earlier in the day, and the weather was much better, and it's hard to say. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit deep into center field. Tatsumi going back for it, parking, finding it, and makes the catch. And the first out of this 8th inning is recorded.
To take a quick break to look into the chat while we get to the next batter, Andrew Gonzalez with a question about the umpires in Japan, and I can answer the question this way. I don't really know the names of almost any of the umpires in Japan, so that should tell you everything there. I know Shirai just because of his
because of his ridiculous strike 3 calls, yes.
Yeah, but as for everyone else, not sure.
Well, and they probably don't have the legend of, oh, wow, so much rage on social media. But that's just not as much of a thing in Japan, I think, anyway.
The box not being on TV probably helps quite a lot.
Well, it is presented somewhere in certain stadiums, like they have it in the lower left corner here. Yumamune takes ball 1. The count is 1-1. Already 5th time up to the plate, and let's see if I can jinx this into existence. He is hitless so far. Swings over the top of that quickly. Down 1-2. Kajiya making a living with that forkball down in the bottom of the zone. He sees just enough and it stays up, and then sharp vertical break and history. Lofted into center field. Tatsumi takes a step and a half back, comes forward and collects that. He's been busy this inning. Yumamune has flown out 3 times, grounded out once, and struck out for the last. Is 0 for 5 on the day. Here comes Hideo Ota, who just last time up had the single into left field. And roped down towards third base, gets past Ito into left field, and he'll have another hit. And there's the Oryx faithful. Very happy that their phenom's getting a hit. I mean, he's 24 years old. It's probably about time to stop calling him a phenom, Gabe. But, younger player, less proven track record compared to some of the bats in this lineup. It almost looks like there might be sun peeking out based on the lighting here.
Let's see if we can get an accurate weather report.
Well, we could. Ryoma Nishikawa comes to the plate for his 5th appearance. He has 2 doubles to left. He's scored one at least once. And takes that ball out. Side. That was the fastball. Miyagi getting warm already. Looks like they're going to bring him out for the bottom of the 8th. He has thrown 106 pitches, as they're showing right there. But he's got that workhorse mentality. Hit well into right field, but it goes to die right ahead of the warning track, and Watanabe makes the catch to end the inning. So, despite the single by Ota, 1 base runner, Kajiya does not allow a run. He continues to keep that 0 ERA. 3 flyouts induced, and that will end the top half of the 8th inning. Oryx has 1 more chance to increase the lead. Rakuten has 2 more chances to try and make this a game.
And getting more on that weather report for you, the sun is poking out a little bit, looking at the the radar map. However, the humidity has jumped up to 99%, and the precipitation is currently sitting at 95%, up from 50%.
There's a fun...
The wind is picking up.
There's a fun recording of a group kind of pastiching a local weather forecast, and says the sky is sunny with a 50% chance of rain, and you hear this massive thunderclap and then the start of rain. Make that a 100% chance.
It's where we're approaching.
Well, I mean, it has been raining the whole time, so like,
I can appreciate the fact that the game has been ongoing the entire time. They haven't, threatened with the tarp or anything. They've just
not even
let them play.
Tarp. Well, and frankly, for our benefit, that's amazing.
Yeah, just purely from a viewer's standpoint, it's just really nice to see
there that Miyagi has given up 3 hits, 1 walk. He has struck out 5, but no runs have crossed the plate thus far. Trying to figure out who the 3 hits are. Also, without looking, the Buffaloes B in the dugout, they showed that there, and all of a sudden I kind of did a double take, like, wait, why do they have a Red Sox? 2 replacements. Not that I can name them. Mukitani in center and something Oka in left field now. And here's Hiroto Kobukata again. Hasn't done much this contest for sure. Looks at strike 1. Looping curveball in there for strike 2. It's not very often in an NPB game that I watch where you see a radar reading that's below 90, but if you're going to see it, it's going to be commonly these off-speed pitches. That is outside, ball 1.
I think it's Ito that has that ephus pitch that doesn't even pick up on the radar.
I think I've heard something about that. That sounds right.
Makes the rounds every couple games.
Yeah, Zach Greinke, similar deal when he broke out the weird ephus. That is low, ball 2, almost completely in the dirt. That looked to be his Shuto. I wonder if that's what that was. Hard to read it, and it's so small on my screen here.
The last pitch was his slider, and the most recent one was his fastball.
Fair enough.
I believe so.
Mr. J-Dog checking us in the chat with that out-of-town scoreboard update. The Lions still up 7-1. This is grounded to second, and Oshido over to Ota. And that's out number 1. Yukiya Ito stepping into the box for his 4th plate appearance of the game. Grounded out twice. Did reach last time on an error by Yuma Tongu. There's definitely a slow curve. Not as slow as the last ones that we've seen, but didn't quite drop into the zone. Beautiful arc on that thing, though. And swung on, hit over the infield, and that'll drop into center field for a base hit.
I was looking at his spray chart and his heat map, and just as I was about to say it, he actually just did that. He goes with the opposite way more than he actually pulls into left field.
Well, and he's taken the pitch exactly where it was. That was over the outer half of the plate. So nice job there of using what the pitcher is giving to him. Mugitani getting some action, getting to field that hit in center field. The Buffaloes, unlike the Eagles, don't have like a superstar, really high draft pick rookie, but Mugitani is young and I believe is a rookie this season. Itsuki Murebayashi comes up for his 4th plate appearance. And looks at strike 1. He did reach in the 1st inning on a little squibber through the infield. Didn't come around to score, obviously. And that one's low for ball 2. I obviously pay more attention to this, but it almost looks like almost every pitch he does this little like hop afterwards. The things that you notice when you're just looking at the right time. He's going to call timeout, maybe get some of the rain off his face. I mean, Miyagi is not working quite as fast as he might have earlier. You can definitely tell that he's digging deep here. Murabayashi fouls that off, and it's 1-2.
Real quick in the chat for Philip asking why does Oryx not go to the bullpen with a 5-run lead? One could for the Sawamura award, you actually have to have a certain number of complete games, and they could be letting Miyagi go for that award by keeping it in
it's
this long early in the
5
season.
runs. This offense has been essentially inept this entire game. That's ball too in the dirt. I think that the Sawamura has a lot of requirements. Sometimes they will award it without a pitcher meeting all of them, but you may as well try. And Miyagi is the type that wants to keep the ball in his hand anyway. I mean, he's thrown upwards of 130 pitches in a game before, complete game shutouts, struggle starts alike. That is ripped foul down the third base line. Murabayashi making this a battle here. Miyagi's next pitch will be his 120th.
I never actually looked at looked that closely at it, but now that you've said the Kabuki thing, I actually do see it.
I swear Gabe made this point before. He'll have to set the record straight when he watches the replay. That is flared into right field and down. Fair ball. Racing for third is Yukiya Ito. And Murabayashi gets his second consecutive hit for the Eagles in this inning. And the runners at the corners with only one out. And there's another confab. Looks like probably pitching coach, if I had to guess. I don't know all the names of the coaching staff for Oryx or any of the teams, to be honest. But it doesn't seem like the manager himself is like, all right, dude, you sure you want to do this? I think this is just a pitching coach kind of like letting him recalibrate, catch his breath a little bit. All right, settle down, focus up. That was one heck of a job of golfing that pitch out, and he made something of it for sure. It almost looked like it could be extra bases, but Ito taking this extra base is a really big deal here.
I would also think there's a possibility of somebody being up in the bullpen, but as we've said earlier, we just can't see, and they could be going out just let them know that someone's out there, and possibly this could be his last batter.
Could be. I mean, especially if it's a double play ball. You would love that right now. But it is Ryosuke Tatsumi. Doubling him up is going to be pretty hard. However, he is 0 for 3 to this point. Only 229 on the season thus far. Definitely not. Ooh, did that hit his bat? Hit Wakatsuki's glove or both? Anyway, strike one. Definitely not up to his standards of last season for Tatsumi. He's got to get on base to steal bases, and he's still very fast. He's obviously got quite a defensive reputation. Not sure that defensive metrics agree with it all the time, but looks at that pitch, and that was just not called, and that is borderline to be fair. Count is 2-1. Ironically, that was probably a better frame job than the one I was getting up in arms about earlier, but still wasn't called a strike.
That's close on that line, but
right,
it's one of those could go either way.
It could. The umpire decided to call it the way that he did. And 2-2 pitch outside. That one's much less questionable as to whether it's a ball or a strike. And that's a full count for Miyagi. We haven't actually seen too many full counts for Miyagi this game. I've not been specifically tracking his pitches, like how many he requires each at bat, but it feels like he's only gotten to a couple full counts this entire time. That is swung on, hit deep into left field. Racing backwards is gonna make the catch, but there's a sac fly for Tatsumi, and the Eagles will not be shut out this day. They finally get a run in the bottom of the 8th. It is 5-1 in favor of Oryx. Also, still I still can't remember. I still can't remember who's out there. Like I saw something Oka was the second kanji, but I did not catch the name.
Yeah, and I've been looking on SportsNavi, just waiting for something to update, and just genuinely nothing has changed.
Well, I think part of the reason it hasn't updated is because he hasn't had an at bat yet. Here comes Toshiki Abe. Hiroya Miyagi, 126 pitches deep into this. Hey, we're almost at the point where we might see a pitch that's slower than his pitch count.
That is possible.
That would be kind of funny. Toshiki Abe does have the hit to center, but other than that, has been relatively quiet. Swings big at that one. He definitely wanted the 2-run homer there. Quickly 0-2.
We were inquiring about left field, correct? That's where we're looking?
Yep, left field. I got the one for center, but I didn't.
Taishi Hiroka.
Hirooka. That's what it was. Okay. Apparently, Ryoma Nakagawa is out of the game. Nishikawa. Nakagawa is the other one, Keita Nakagawa. Ryoma Nishikawa is apparently getting a rest for the remainder of this game. Actually, it is kind of surprising that they haven't used too many pinch hitters for the Eagles, given the situation they're in. I mean, they have their stud prospect, Muneyama, on the bench.
And then just real quick for Hiroka, he has great power. And it says here in the scouting report, his main problem is just making enough contact to put it to good use.
You have to hit the ball far.
So apparently when he connects, it goes far.
Sounds familiar. Profile of a very quad A player. That is up in the zone, 3-2, and here we go. You got a full count again. Second in the last, 3 batters. So Toshiki Abe working his magic. Hiroya Miyagi is up to 131 pitches and finally allowed his run. He had been doing pretty well avoiding danger, but 1 run does cross the plate for the Eagles. Looking to add on here. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Abe will be the final out of the inning. For Miyagi, that is strikeout number 6. And despite the run coming across, Oryx is still in a great position. They lead 5-1 going into the top of the 9th.
It is kind of funny discussing the pitch count. My first actual in-person game was a Marines game, and by that point I was already a fan of the Marines, and they were actually playing against Oryx here. And I don't remember who was pitching for both teams, honestly, at this point. But they did... I remember the Marines starter had about 101 pitches, and I was very vocal. Very vocal in complaining with my MLB-sized brain at that point. And they just let him in, and then eventually, they got a hit off him, and they blew the 0-0 tie, and I was very adamant it's because he was left in for too long, and blah, 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 blah.
Well,
I'm sure if anyone around me understood what I was saying, that they would probably be just laughing at me.
I mean, they do learn English. It's not like they don't study it. It's a question of how capable they are of using it and how recognizable it is when they do.
I was probably talking very fast if I had to guess, and plus people say my accent's incomprehensible, so...
Well, I mean...
I think I don't have one, personally.
Given your native speech speed... Oh, here's the Ryuta Konno coming on for the Eagles now. The 5th pitcher they've used in this game. I'm going to send Mike off to check for that pitch mix while I try and figure out, because it looks like the first batter up is the first at-bat of the game for Mukitani. And I believe he's hitting in the... Why did that say the 4 slot? I see because he was in center field, but it could have been a double switch for Fukuda because Fukuda had that pinch hit last time. I'll see if I can sort it out when they get the information up there. But looks like, Mike, you got something on Konno's pitch selections?
All right, so primarily he is a fastball and a curveball pitcher. He throws his fastball 56% of the time. Averages around the low 90s on the fastball. Curveball is his strikeout pitch, where he gets 33% of his strikeouts with the curveball. He also has a cutter, a changeup, and a fork that he pretty much rarely uses. He throws a changeup in there every once in a while if the curveball's not working, tonight. But for the most part, look for a fastball and curveball.
And he starts with a fastball up that is out of the zone for ball one. He's facing Yutaro Sugimoto, who obviously has had a great day at the plate. The big home run earlier. And he got a single, is just his most recent time up. That fastball almost in the same place as the first one. Swing and a miss. That was a big hack. Yeah, he definitely likes it up in the higher upper part of the zone. It makes you wonder why Kono is attacking there, unless he just thinks that he's got Sugimoto beat. That's the old get me over pitch. He got him over that time. 2-1 the count. And that's in there for strike two. And yep, this is like strictly fastballs diet. Fifth pitch of the at-bat, fouled off. And you're seeing a lot of red circles in that pitch mix down there in the lower left. As Mike was saying, this guy is so fastball reliant, it's not even funny. Nothing has been on anywhere beyond the outer third. I wonder if he's going to try and go inside and tie him up. Catcher set up there, and Sugimoto sends it deep to left field and sailing out of here. His second home run of the game, fourth of the season, and another RBI. This time a solo shot. He has now got 3 runs batted in on the day.
Looking at the heat map, I'm going to assume the game plan was to, make Sugimoto beat you by pitching up there in his zone, because as we've been saying all night, up there at the top of the zone is where Sugimoto likes it as he hits the Ralpos, which, big fan of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he challenged him, said, here, beat this, and Sugimoto demolished it into the outfield stand.
And gives Oryx back their 5-run lead as Oshiro steps in for his first at-bat of the contest. Came in as a defensive replacement at second base when Yuma Tongu was removed. Takes that ball high as well. It's quickly 2-0. He's 31 years old. He's in his 10th year in the bigs. He's not necessarily like the hitting type, more of a defensive specialist type reputation anyway. Also, is that just me, or did they decide to not show pitch number 3 as pitch number 3? Weird. That was called strike 1. The count is 3-1 very quickly.
Unless pitch number 1 was just way out of the zone, it's not even on the
not even on the radar. That's possible. And that is a walk right there. First time up for Oshiro, he gets a walk in that plate appearance. Kono's first walk allowed. It's the third walk overall for the Buffaloes to this point, I think. Maybe I'm missing one. Hold on a second. No, I think that is the third. All right. Yeah, Sugimoto just got the bat head to that ball, and as soon as it was off the bat, it was pretty obvious. Even the rain couldn't dampen that one. But I was trying to, reserve it, so I wasn't getting too excited and being wrong, like Jimbo was saying earlier. Swing and a miss from Kota Kurebayashi. That is outside for ball 1. There's that slider stuff. And they're calling it his cut ball. Using the kana that are available to me. Kurebayashi hasn't done much in this game. He had the double in his third time up, but other than that, mostly quiet. And that is called strike 2. 1-2 count. That one was more accurate than the first one was, but I was almost thinking that one shouldn't have been a strike. Yay for camera angles. Catcher going to set up outside. Swing and a miss, and Kurabayashi goes down swinging. His second strikeout in a row. Kono's first of the game. And I can't quite tell if that was the cut ball or if that was just a fastball that looked like he took a little bit off. So I'm assuming it's probably the cut ball or the fork. One out now. Runner still on first. And here comes Keita Nakagawa.
You are correct. That was his cutter.
That is up in the zone, 1-0. I can't wait for the day that I feel like I'm experienced enough to actively recognize pitches without having to rely on the graphics. Today is not that day. And that one gets more into the zone. It is a 1-1 count.
I'm personally of when in doubt, if the ball didn't go straight, just call it a breaking ball.
It doesn't go straight, call it a breaking ball. Or call it an off speed if it looks like it's not the same.
No need to get specific if you're not sure.
There is that. 1-1 pitch coming here from Ryuta Kono to Nakagawa. Hit into the outfield. Running over towards the foul line is Watanabe, who makes the catch in foul ground. We can't see because the wall, and we don't have a better camera angle, but Nakagawa's holding his bat, walking back to the dugout, so I will assume that is indeed what happened, and he flies out to Watanabe for a second straight time. Much better angle. Yes, he does make the catch. It is in foul territory, so it would have been okay if he'd let it drop, but does prevent the runner from advancing. Oshiro is still at first base, and there are now 2 outs. Obviously, Sugimoto's home run was not exactly a desired outcome, but they're doing okay otherwise. Here's Kenya Wakatsuki. He has 2 hits and driven in a run. Last 2 plate appearances, he's come up empty. Does not offer, but it's called strike 1. And, I mean, good placement on that pitch. We'll see if Kono can get out of this without any more damage as we cross the 3-hour mark of our broadcast here in the top of the 9th. And that looping ball, definitely a breaking ball, didn't break far enough. That's ball 1. I don't know, Mike. Would you say that this has been a good game so far? Longer than you expected? Shorter than you expected? What are you thinking?
I've certainly found it to be an enjoyable game.
Yeah, especially if you're an Oryx fan.
Me personally, I prefer pitching dominance over high-scoring games.
Sure. It's rolled to third, and that is picked up by Ito, who throws out the batter runner at first. And that'll be the end of the top of the 9th. Pending some severe shenanigans, that should also end the Buffaloes on offense this game, which means that Mukitani, despite coming in as a defensive replacement, may not end up getting in at bat at all because he was due up after Wakatsuki. Got to fix the hood so the rain doesn't get into the eyes, but I'm too busy with the clackers. Awesome. We're Ito getting some rally towel love. Let it not be said that I can't commentate on the baseball game and try to have fun doing it.
This is going to sound really dumb, but one of my favorite things just about, different places and everything, especially when I'm watching these games, is just the different advertisements that they have,
Sure.
all over the stadium, because most of the time it ends up being the same exact stuff that we have in our stadiums here in the U.S.
Yeah, just the different companies or
I just
what
find
have
it
you.
funny that all around the world we've decided, we have banks advertising here. We got the beer company. Same couple things. It's always just funny to me.
Jimbo, you're missing out. Muneyama's picking up a bat. I can't blame him. He worked really hard. We do finally have a reliever. It's going to be Kento Kawase for the Buffaloes to come on in the 9th inning and try and finish out the game. So final line for Hiroya Miyagi, 130 plus pitches, which is hardly important. Before I get to that, though, one appearance for Kawase thus far. He has a 6 earned run average, which, happens to relievers. If you give up any runs, it's usually a high ERA until you stop giving up runs. Back to Miyagi's line, though. He did have the 8 total innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, allowed 4 hits, only 1 run. It was earned. That's a really, really good start. Let's hear about the pitch mix for Kawase, Mike.
All right, so for Kawase, he has 4 pitch mix: fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup. Throws his fastball and a slider the majority of the time. Throws his changeup only in there every once in a while. Barely touches the curveball. And just looking at his heat maps and everything, he's been pretty banged up and pretty much hit all around the strike zone. So I guess put him in here in this, I don't want to say a blowout, but borderline done game. Probably just to get him more comfortable pitching.
Low leverage. Give him some work. He's only appeared once to this point in the season. Get him some more innings. He throws a ball in the dirt to Hideo Asamura. Go ahead and finish what you were saying. Ooh, maybe not. That's drilled into. That is taken right into center field, and Asamura has a single lead off the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to be saying. Exactly what happened.
All right.
The way things work out.
And batting for Yoshiaki Watanabe, I think. Yep, that number is definitely different. Yes, indeed. Here comes the stud, the phenom himself, Rui Muneyama. 255 on the young season. He does have 5 RBI already. Several multi-hit games, not too long in the rearview mirror. I'm kind of surprised they waited this long to try and get him off the bench. Definitely see a lot in Kawase's pitch thing there. It's giving 7 different offerings. That fastball was up in the zone and considered ball 1. Muneyama, we're relying on you. Tano Muzo, there's one of the rally towels next to the Muneyama merch, and he's been great for the Eagles. Fouls that off. Wakatsuki makes a pass, but it goes into the seats.
Looking at what I was working with, I'm going to assume that those are all his declared pitches with the team. And
Probably.
What I was looking at are probably just what he's used.
They're probably the ones he's thrown, yeah. Like if I looked closer at the con, I could tell you what all of them say. But, other fish to fry here as the very exciting bottom of the 9th happens. And Muneyama hits it well into center field. Tracking it down, fellow rookie Mugitani. So a fly out into center field. I almost wrote that correctly. Fly out into center field for Muneyama. It looked solid, but again, the ball's not been flying very well here. That was solid contact, but it was well tracked, and the catch was made by Mugitani. You see that look. He's like, I needed that one back. Michael Franco comes to bat now. And what a looping pitch. Call the ball. I'm not sure I believe that based on the K-zone.
On Michael Franco, he's been quite the interesting signing for the Eagles because ultimately he's not really had a large amount of success.
Yeah.
And they keep bringing him back. So I'm wondering, surely they see something into him. I'm just hoping he's able to...
It'd be good. I mean, I liked Michael Franco when he was on the Phillies, so I'd be really happy to see him do well. But, I think at this point, it's almost like, do you weigh the clubhouse vibes versus the production? And is that calculus enough to keep him around? Obviously, they keep signing him, so that does say something. Maybe it's his work ethic. Maybe it's the things he helps with the other batters in the lineup. Wakatsuki racing back to the backstop, but that's much further out of play. Fouled off. Strike 1.
I do hope he figures it out. If anybody does listen to our podcast, I did have him for an import of the year for the Pacific League. He was my pick for that.
Fair enough. If you haven't listened to the podcast, what are you doing? You like hanging around with us, and you can listen to that whenever you want. So, go check it out and do all those YouTube-y things while you're at it. Thanks for being here, by the way. 2-1 pitch now from Kawase. swung on and missed. Franco well over the top of that one, dove away from him. And the count is even to 2-2. And there is strike three looking. Franco beating himself on the helmet for missing that one. It was right down the gut. Can't say I blame him. Kawase's first strikeout of the appearance. And there are quickly 2 outs. So the leadoff single by Asamura was not exactly flash in the pan. That's not what I mean to say. But, it's more of the same for the Eagles offense. They're not able to cluster hits enough together. When they did, they scored. Crazy how that works.
And that's just been the problem that Rakiten's been running into for the past 3 seasons, is just offense not being able to click all at one time. Some individual players have had decent seasons, but altogether it's just been...
Another pinch hitter. I am not sure of this guy's name. Butol, maybe? I didn't get... Muto. There we go. Muto. Daichi Suzuki obviously had the pinch hit appearance earlier. Didn't come into the game defensively. And that is skied in the air on the infield. Backing up on it is Oshiro. And does secure the catch. Looked a little questionable for a moment there. But with that, the third out is secured, and the Oryx Buffaloes secure a 6-1 win against the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Hiroya Miyagi goes 8 strong and picks up the win. And what a game for the Buffaloes. I mean, the offense was almost clicking on all cylinders. The loss will go to, I'm forgetting his name right now, of course, Tatsuki Koja, who just had a lot of trouble in the first inning. Immediate trouble does not make for a good time when you're against a good offense like this. Yutaro Sugimoto, probably the hero of the game, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Keita Nakagawa also had a couple of hits as well. This was a pretty good game for the all-around effort on the offense. I think, let me look at my notes real quick. Out of the 9 starters, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 starters. Well, 7 out of 9 starters got 1 hit. The only 2 that did not, Shuhei Fukuda and Yuma Mune. So collectively, great team win for the Buffaloes. Miyagi pitching really well, of course, is usually expected, and he lived up to the billing today. Tatsuki Koja, of course, hard luck loss. When you take almost 50 pitches to get through the first inning, that's going to be a hard thing. For everybody here at Pacific League TV English crew, for Mike Bealey, Jimbo Bernicki, myself, Matt Seivert, Gabe Lerman lurking in the chat early on in the game, thank you so much for checking out this abruptly changed stream. And you can see the rain affected this place just about as much as it did the game that got canceled. We hope that you will come see us in our next broadcast. The next Midnight Matinee is going to be in May. It's May 24th. The game features the Hawks and these same Buffaloes in Kumamoto, where I actually spent many years of my time in Japan. Well, all of my time in Japan, but 5 years of my life. Hiroya Miyagi is your hero of the game. 132 pitches, the final line. 5 hits allowed, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 1 run. We don't have audio for the hero interview, but I'm sure he is very happy to be standing there as the player of the game, and the Oryx faithful happy as well. For all of us here, thanks so much for joining us. Have a good night, afternoon, morning, wherever it is, wherever you are. Thanks so much for joining us on this broadcast, and we'll see you next time.